The Wrestling Classic, November 7th, 1985, Rosemont, Illinois. Attendance 14,000 people, which, quite frankly, is almost a little bit over 5,000 less than we had in WrestleMania 1. But yeah, we start off the Wrestling Classic with the, of course, intro to the show. And honestly, Cameron, I feel like this intro way better than the first one. Way better than WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, man. Well, did you catch that this was WrestleVision?
Oh,
Did you catch that?
I did not catch that. I did not.
Man, so this was supposed to be the first WrestleVision event because after the success of WrestleMania, they were really feeling themselves and they thought we're going to release a series of special events. We're going to have one come out in we had this one in November, the Wrestling Classic, but then we're going to have another in January, March, May, August. And you can tell the next event is WrestleMania 2. So that didn't really pan out that well.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at all, but that's interesting to know. But no, I really liked how they actually like went through the matchups and everything and what we're gonna see throughout the night, and they kind of went over the rules as well, as
Yeah, the important
pinfall.
rule of like you have to win.
Yep,
They were like, "What are the rules of this tournament?" As if you should win a match. Is it was groundbreaking.
yep.
They brought the president in to tell us you have to win.
Exactly, which I thought was very weird because I wasn't at this point like Vince bought WWF, so like he was.
So so Vince has been the owner of WWF for however long. I don't know. But he never like really made that public on screen. He's like a commentary or announcer for basically all the way up until the Attitude Era. Like there will be hints and references to him being like the man in charge or whatever. But as far as the context of the show goes, Jack Tunney is the president, and it's a big deal that he's come here to check out this event because at Landon, this is the first WrestleVision event, man. We got
Yeah,
4 more of these after we got to build this shit up.
yeah,
We
true.
got to hype this up.
Uh, but yeah, a little bit of about Wrestling Classic. Um, we are having a 16-man wrestling tournament
Yep,
with 15 tournament matches, and then we also,
presumably.
yep, presumably, and then also we are having a WWF World Heavyweight title match between Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper as well.
Yeah, no Mr. T this time.
No Mr. T, no Mr. T. Thank God.
There's something else that's happening tonight.
There is.
Yeah.
We are doing a Rolls Royce giveaway.
Yeah. We're giving
Um,
away a Rolls Royce Silver Cloud 3.
yeah, one lucky fan will go home with his Rolls Royce.
Yeah, and have the most expensive car insurance payment they've ever had in their life.
Yep.
Lucky you.
Especially in the 80s. Congratulations on your
Yeah.
$500 insurance payment.
Yeah, you're in debt now. Congratulations.
Yeah, good luck with the national average of $9 an hour. uh no, but yeah, we kick off the show. We have Vince, Alfred Hayes, and Susan going
Yes,
over
Susan.
our tournament. Also, after Vince is, you notice at the beginning, after Vince is talking to himself, he goes over to Alfred Hayes when he's introducing him, and he wants to hear some words from him as well. He gets oddly close to him, kind of very uncomfortably. He's like,
Hey,
he has the mic right up next to him, and it's just
talk
very,
about the
very
tournament,
awkward.
pal.
Yeah,
Talk about the tournament.
but
Talk.
but so glad to see Alfred Hayes back though. So glad.
Oh, of course. It's always wonderful to see Alfred Hayes. It's also great to see Alfred Hayes in a role he's more like comfortable in, and he's not confused as to what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, no,
He literally has this beautiful bracket on the wall with like the pictures for them to move them along throughout the night. I really like the in-person bracket as opposed to just a little graphic or whatever. Like graphics are cool because it's like new agey and technologically like pleasing.
Yep.
But this was so cool to see like all 16 of them on this big ass wall. When they win, they move their picture on to the next bracket. It was really cool.
Yeah, also as well, like you can never forget their names because it was underneath their pictures. So just to help them out as well.
Yeah, and there's 16 of these people, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it was always great to see Alfred Hayes. I don't think Susan really said anything at the beginning. Maybe some cheers or whatever. We'll get more into her later on. Uh,
Oh, we will.
but yeah, so uh, we kick it to the ring. We got Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. They're back. Also Jesse, great outfit. Um, I I thought I thought
Yes.
constantly throughout the night that he was the real American with his outfit as well as his handlebar mustache. I mean, he was like in the beer gut. I mean, typical American. So
Jesse Ventura is one of the heroes of this show to me. Like every time he does anything, it really stands out. Especially later on. Anytime Randy Savage is involved, Jesse Ventura is amazing.
yeah, he was really for Randy tonight.
God, was he ever? Yeah.
But yeah, so we kick off the first match. We have
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You
oh,
skipped a fishbowl drawing, dude.
what fishbowl? It was then? I didn't think it was then.
Was it not? I have it. I have it on my notes before the match.
Oh no, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
They did a couple of them.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
think I wrote anything about it, but they did do
oh
that.
man, I love these. So Ricky Steamboat pulls Davy Boy Smith out of the fishbowl. Now this means we're having a babyface match. Ricky Steamboat goes, "Wow, he's a fine young boy, a good boy too." Don't know what the fuck that means. But here's the best one. Macho Man, because he's hot shit. He doesn't care who he draws in this fishbowl. No one holds a candle to him. And he makes Elizabeth reach into the bowl and she draws Ivan Putski. And all he does is like, God, you ruined that too. You fucking. Like, it was amazing. He just dogs Elizabeth the entire time. His gimmick is he's a shitty husband and he's mean to his manager and he plays it so well.
Hey,
Like, he even blamed her because, like, of all the 15 people, she drew Ivan Putski, and he's like, God, I knew you fucked that up too, you fucking idiot.
hey, I ain't gonna lie though. Elizabeth, dime piece.
Yeah, beautiful, man,
Very
beautiful.
attractive, very attractive. Congratulations, Macho Man, for real.
Yeah.
Also we get introduced to Mr. Fiji.
Mr. Fuji. Yes.
Fuji.
Yes.
And then oh, what was his name? I have it down here. What was his the Magnificent Morocco.
Yes. Who I ended up being a huge fan of by the end of the show.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. He was great. Yeah, but they did they show all of them? I feel like they only showed like 3 or 4, right?
No, I only wrote down notes for Steamboat and Savage because they just stuck out to me with their reactions of who they drew. I don't really remember if they did anyone else.
Yeah, I don't think they really did either. But yeah, now we can kick it to the first match though. We have Adrian Adonis versus Corporal uh Kirchner.
Yeah, Kirchner. Yeah, Corporal Kirchner. Yeah,
Uh,
I guess.
Adrian Adonis sounds like a Rocky character. That's all I thought the whole time.
Yeah, I expected him to look like more jacked than he did with a name like Adonis, but I was not disappointed with what I got. I thought Adrian Adonis was awesome.
Me too. I wrote down Adrian looks like if Dusty Rhodes and William Regal had a baby.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
And I mean, that's literally all I thought the whole time. But no, yeah, we kick off this match. One of my favorite parts during it, towards the beginning, not really the beginning, but mostly the whole time, Jimmy Hart was bullhorn coaching the whole time, and it was great.
Yes,
I
yeah.
don't think he did that in WrestleMania, but it was awesome. I was dying laughing.
Well, at WrestleMania they got to be a little more focused, I guess, but we can fuck around at the Wrestling Classic, even though this is the first WrestleVision show, so we got to make this go hard. But
Yeah, yeah. Did you have anything on like their in-ring performances or anything?
really, just that I really liked Adrian Adonis when he was in control. He put on this like really solid heat where he was just so calm and collected the whole time and kept his control. Kirshner, he's really dialed in on this like Guile Rambo shit that he's got going.
Yeah.
Because he looks badass, dude. He looks like a character from Contra. It's fucking awesome.
Oh,
Um,
also, what I
yeah.
noticed real quick, last time we experienced at WrestleMania how the fans were super close. Well,
Yeah.
not only at this event, we had the outside the ring, and then we had a railing, and then we had like fences around or whatever you'd call them, and then at every 3 feet around the railing, there was a guy in an orange jacket guarding.
Yeah, I noted earlier that there's a lot of people wearing orange jackets that say police.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and it's really jarring because it's like the police are dressed as convicts now, and it's really strange. It's so awkward.
Mm,
Like, why not just have them in police outfits if you're gonna have them say have it say police?
right, right. Uh,
How did you feel about the move that Adonis does to win this match?
to win. Okay, so I know Corporal tries to pick him up, but
Yeah.
he kind of like I think he countered into like a weird DDT, right? And he just pinned
Yeah,
him.
he sure did.
It was very awkward.
Kirshner just goes for like I guess a regular suplex, and Adrian Adonis just lifts him up and then just falls like this is a step above like the implant DDT or the execution. Kirshner came down straight on his fucking head.
Yeah, I remember in this. I think it's in this next match, but I feel like a lot of the wrestlers here were okay to like take a punch, or were okay to get their head stomped in,
Yeah, they didn't give a
or
fuck back then.
yeah,
These
six
were real
hundred
men.
pounds. Yeah, yeah. These were plumbers and electricians and people who didn't care. Like dads just
Yeah.
trying to make a salary.
Yeah, nobody's gimmick is they're like the best wrestler in the world except Hulk Hogan. Everyone else's gimmick is they have a day job and that's what their entire wrestling character is.
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, like I really liked Adrian Adonis. There's nothing really spectacular about this match. A fun thing I would like to point out here. Now I know uh this what's deemed as like is good and isn't good, and like what's appropriate and isn't is has changed over time in terms of like the in-ring part, because some things are really sloppy when you compare them to today's where everything looks like so choreographed. Back then it looks a little more rugged and grainy and like actual real struggle.
Also,
But
there's more mouth movements I've noticed in
oh
wrestling.
god, yes, they worked the crowd so much more.
Yep.
But the crowd also worked back then, whereas now it's like full of internet marks that just want to shout what. But and this is not to be a burial on anybody, but I thought it was interesting that Kirshner he he hits this really tight little headlock in at some point, but by today's standards, it's fundamentally wrong because he's got his headlock on, but his palm on his left hand is facing upward. So when it's gonna be hard to explain this without like being able to show you physically, but picture you have someone in the headlock. Your left, your right hand is clenching your left,
Mm-hmm.
and you want your like the back of your wrist to be what's facing inward towards your opponent when you have the headlock. So when you're wrenching that, you get like that little bony part of your wrist crunching against your opponent's like head and chin and shit to get the extra pressure. And I've heard such things as like people got sent home from WWE tryouts and shit like that because when they put their headlock on, they did it
Really,
the
that's
way that
crazy.
yeah. But as I mentioned, like I said, things have like changed over the years, and things get a little more formulaic and by the book and paint by number kind of shit. So this isn't to be like Corporal Kushner fucking sucked. It's crazy how things have changed since then and how it's evolved in the way it has, because something as simple as a headlock was just so different back then.
That's crazy. Do you have like a move that you know that you've messed up, something like that, and you'd be sent on by WWE?
Probably a headlock like that back when I was like brand new. I didn't even think about that until I heard someone tell me that like someone they knew got sent home because of that. Like I never even thought about my headlocks being being that way, and I immediately fixed it and haven't looked back since. But I'm pretty sure there's something I do. There's a lot. I'm sure there's things I do wrong, that that they wouldn't like. I could I point it out? Probably not, because I wouldn't be doing it that way, I guess. But
Hey, I think you're great.
Hey, I think I'm getting there. I think I'm doing pretty damn good. I probably had legitimately the best match I've ever had over the weekend a few days ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I need to watch it. Um,
please do.
but yeah, honestly, good finish for Adonis though. It's cool to
It's,
get a
it's believable.
counter, a counter to get a win.
Yeah, it's
uh,
believable. If I got dropped that way, I'm definitely not gonna get right back up. Even though he kicked out at like 3.1.
yeah, yeah. Uh, but the match went on for 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and
Yeah, we spent longer talking about it.
yeah, we did. And the heel um, Adonis moves on to the second round.
Yes, the next match, man.
uh,
I I love this.
yeah, no, I agree. Uh, the Dynamite Kid versus Nikolai Volkov. He's back from
Yep,
WrestleMania.
he
Uh,
is.
after his win versus
I I don't know if he's still tag champions at this point. I didn't he didn't have a
oh yeah,
belt with
yeah,
him.
neither of them did.
Yeah, but also maybe back then if you were in single matches, you just didn't wear your tag belt, but I also don't know the history of the tag team championship that well, so
Didn't wear your tag belt and didn't get a entrance song either.
well, he got his national anthem in.
He did. So yeah, of course, they go out to the ring, and Volkov um, demands everyone standing to stand up so he can perform his Russian national anthem, which is always
Yep.
funny. Because
Yeah.
especially like during the time period, the time period is what makes it the best. The
Yes,
1980s in
absolutely.
America, we literally
Yeah.
were just in Cold War with them, and now he wants to perform a national anthem of Russia in
Yeah.
Chicago, and I mean it's just great every time.
Never doesn't get booed. They hate that shit. But there is one thing that will make them excited for the end of the Soviet national anthem.
There is. But real quick, they should have drug test Dynamite Kid. That guy was insane. Like he was
Yeah,
so ripped.
yeah, and he's also like one of the quote unquote smaller guys in the company here. But it looked like this dude looked like he was about to pop. Like this dude was jacked,
Yeah,
looking all kinds of Chris Benoit, like all kinds of Chris Benoit,
yeah, we gotta
in
get him
in,
tested.
in the physical like appearance sense, not the fucking yeah. We'll cut that part. I'm joking. I gotta cut that. I don't
uh,
care.
but yeah, the national anthem lasted longer than the match.
Yeah.
uh,
The Wikipedia says the match was 9 seconds, but
no
I
way.
really don't know. I have no idea because as soon as like the bell rings mid national anthem, first of all,
He's
rude,
still holding the
disrespectful.
mic. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dynamite Kid's like, "Fuck it, I'll just climb up here."
At least he was standing up during the national anthem, being respectful.
He was, he was, he was doing it so everyone could see. Like this is what you're supposed to do when the national anthem's being sung.
All
You
right,
disrespectful assholes.
I'm gonna test my wrestling move knowledge. I'm pretty sure he hits a missile drop kick on him, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. I wrote it down. I think
I think that's
Monsoon.
what it was.
Yeah, I think Gorilla Monsoon said it was, and
Okay.
yeah, and that's what I thought it was too, because I know playing the WWE games, Michael Cole will
Yeah,
say it.
there's drop kick, then there's missile drop kick. Yeah.
Yep. And so yeah, 9 seconds allegedly. Dynamite Kid wins.
I wasn't mad given the fact that we had a 16-person tournament and a world title match to get through. So I wasn't really upset with this.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we could have had WrestleMania all over again, where they're just gonna throw a bunch of trash in there. So they were probably just trying to get Volkov out as fast as possible.
Yeah, that's probably why they rang the bell as soon as they did, so the crowd would be satisfied seeing Dynamite Kid just climb. They're like, oh, okay, all right, we don't have to chuck garbage at him. He's gonna get him for us.
Yep, exactly.
I guess if that was their case, it worked because because that's exactly what happened. Like he, as soon as that national anthem is over, because I kept waiting for him to do it during, and I was thinking like, even though this is the '80s, There's no fucking way they're about to interrupt someone's national anthem, right? Even if it is just for the heel heat, there's no way they're gonna do this. And then he literally, as soon as it's over, like the mic is still warm in his hands, he gets the drop kick and gets pinned.
It was awesome though. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I just love how he turns around and he's still holding the mic, and then he takes the feet to the face.
Oh yeah,
It was
far from the worst finish on this show for sure.
no, yeah. Uh, but Dynamite Kid wins, and he's moving on to the second round. So then we kick it over backstage promo or interview to
Yep.
Randy Savage and Mean
Oh
Gene.
yes.
I don't want to get the quote wrong, but during this interview, he said something along the lines of, "I'm wasting my hyper energy over here talking to you. I need to get to the ring."
Yeah, he's got to go snap into it, man. The
Yeah.
madness is fading.
Snap it to a Slim Jim, right?
Yeah,
Macho Man?
he hasn't had that happen to him yet, but we will. He will get there for sure.
Jeez. Macho Man, we didn't see him in WrestleMania 1, but
We didn't.
yeah, but it robbed. Very
Yeah,
robbed. I don't know what they were thinking, not writing him into WrestleMania 1, but thank God he was here.
yeah. Maybe they didn't quite have him yet. Maybe he was injured, or maybe they just didn't have a spot for him yet. I don't know. But we have more than enough Randy Savage to make up for in this in this show, for sure.
I wrote a lot of notes about this match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also wrote a good little bit of notes.
I think this is in my top 3 of most notes for a match.
Okay.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to point out, Macho Man is facing Ivan Putski, and
Yes.
so as they're walking out to the ring, Ivan's already there. First thing I'm thinking is, Ivan looks like a 6-year-old who doesn't know when to retire.
Oh man, I put that he was just like a quintessential Gotch era wrestler, dude. He just looks legit and scary as fuck. Like
Really?
he just looks like if he gets a hold of you, you're done. He's got you. Like, he's going to beat the shit out of you.
Man, I was thinking he looks way too old to be out there, but he has like that clean older body where he's just very smooth.
Yeah. It's like Mike Jackson, but like
Exactly.
muscly and
Yeah,
like
muscly.
buff.
Yep.
I love Mike
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah.
There's no way Mike Jackson's hearing this, by the way, but I love you, Mike Jackson.
Yeah, I did want to call out your friend Mike Jackson, because I was gonna say, you know that old guy you wrestle with? He reminds me
Mike
of him.
Jackson's not listening to podcasts of any kind, I'm sure. And if he is, someone send in this one because I love him.
Yeah, he's the best. Mike Jackson's the best.
Come talk about your favorite WrestleMania with us, Mike Jackson.
For real, honestly. You could be on every week, Mike.
Yeah, you can replace me if you want.
Whoa.
Joking.
As Randy's walking to the ring, Jesse Ventura was being really sexist the whole time.
Dude,
did you hear what he was saying?
This guy, him and Monsoon had some really good back and forths when it came to Randy Savage and his treatment of Elizabeth.
Exactly. Oh, that makes way more sense now. They kind of had like a bromance with Randy and Ventura.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, because
when Monsoon just feels so bad for Elizabeth because she's being treated like shit.
Like the police officers or the people who were walking them out, they were like putting Elizabeth in the back, and Jesse was saying like, Elizabeth deserves to be in his background or something like that.
Yeah, because Monsoon goes, "What the fuck is he doing, bro? Like, that's his manager. She's supposed to lead him to the ring. He's got her behind the police escort." And then Ventura's like, "What you know? You never had a female manager." And he really didn't have an answer for that.
No, he didn't. It was so awkward. It was so awkward. Also, Randy's first outfit of the night, the greatest. That was so cool.
He changed for every match.
Every match. Him and Elizabeth both did. I made
of course, Elizabeth would have to.
This one was so cool. He had like a robe, that emerald gold robe, as well as the headband as well. And I was like, damn, this is legit. This is so cool. It was amazing. And I was just thinking like, first of all, how much does this cost? Because like I don't know if WWE would pay for it or he would pay for it or maybe someone made it for him. You just never know.
Yeah, I wonder how that worked back then.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get into the match. We started out within the first 30 seconds. Macho Man spits on Ivan's face.
Yeah, they like have a
Disgusting.
spit exchange, and I was disgusted. I was grossed the fuck out with this. My notes literally say spit exchange. Gross.
Yeah, literally so when Macho does it, he like kind of misses him, but he still like hits him. But
Yeah,
when
he
Ivan does
pulls the
it,
spit. Yeah, fuck. He blasts him.
right, he was like 10 inches from his face and he just spit on it. And you saw it too. It was
Yeah,
so gross.
yeah. Because it took him like 2 attempts to wipe it all off of his fucking face.
All right, you got
There's
any? Yep.
one my favorite thing about this match is there's just random times where like Savage will duck out, and I couldn't tell whether it was like he's playing afraid, but he's using his manager as his reason as his like
Yes.
justification for getting out of the ring, because he'll go out and he'll grab her and like reposition her, like, no, stand over here, what are you doing, and then go back in, get his ass kicked more, and come back, and he's just every time he goes outside to like powder out and be a chicken shit, he goes and adjusts Elizabeth and like puts her in a different spot as if she's consistently fucking up. Brilliant. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, like he's putting her on like different sides of the corner. He's like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
over here,
yeah,
over
yeah. He's
here.
like, no, no, move over here. I told you. What the fuck is wrong with you? It was so awesome. Savage is a level of performer that is just it's far and away just no one on this card came quite to the level of Randy Savage. And yeah, sure, he had 4 matches to prove it, but holy fuck, did they pick the right dude to do this with?
They did. Honestly, like kudos to him and his energy and his stamina. Because
Oh
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, was he not just all over the place in every match he was in?
I'm not sure how familiar you are with WrestleManias and like the history of them, but there's a WrestleMania coming soon where we're going to talk about this specific show again. Because
Really,
like
really.
yeah, and it has to do with Savage. You'll yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you if you've never seen any of it, but
No, I don't think I
yeah,
have. So that's awesome.
okay, I'll leave it at that then. But some notes I had on this match was that Savage sold his ass off for Putski. Everything Putski did to him looked like it was killing Savage. Savage was just, I don't know, like he would take this the smallest punch and he'd fall over, hold the fuck out of his face, roll outside and grab Elizabeth again, then get right back in there and keep getting his ass kicked. As good as both of these guys were in this match, I really hated this finish.
Yeah, especially because how other people acted in other matches of the night with the
Yeah,
ropes.
yeah.
Uh,
Tito Santana wasn't about to
man,
fix every wrongdoing in
uh,
this show for sure.
I have a lot to say. I might go on a little rant about Tito or yeah, Tito later. So, uh, but yeah, so the match ends with Randy or with
Yeah,
Randy
it's Rand. Yeah,
Savage. What's he like? He kicks he trips Putski in the
yeah,
turnbuckle,
yeah. He
and
trips him and then he just puts his feet on the rope, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. I thought, especially
mhm.
Putski didn't really take that much to be held down on his shoulders that long, even with leverage. I just didn't think it looked that great, and it just made it went against how legit Putski looked throughout
and
this entire match.
and also if you did, I don't know if you noticed, but instead of kicking out, Putski was just trying to point toward his feet and let the ref know.
Yeah,
Uh,
even though in the act of doing that himself could have gotten his shoulder up, but instead
exactly.
he's like
He
trying to keep his shoulders down for
and he's
some reason.
pointing. He's like he
It's
has his
turtle syndrome. He's
yeah
I'm on
he
my
has his
back,
hand
man.
up. And it's yeah, instead of kicking out, he has enough strength though to lift his hand and point.
Yeah, his wrists are fine, but his shoulders are just done. They're too heavy. His arms are too big. That's what it is. He's too massive. That's what it is.
Yeah, so Savage wins. The match lasted 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So not too bad. Really quick matches so far, really quick.
Yeah, and when I kind of picked up on that being that was going to be a recurring thing, I started to breathe a little easier, knowing that there were still like 12 more matches.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had 15 tournament matches and one
Yeah,
one
and a world title
championship.
match coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, that's what they said. And I mean, in 2 hours and 35 minutes. That's about to be rough.
yeah, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of bullshit finishes, I bet.
uh, but yeah, no. Little more recap of it. Yeah, no. Putski was on the offense for most of it, and Savage just way to a victory. So
He sold his ass off and won like a dirty heel. It's exactly what he should have done. It's all he needed to do. He didn't have to worry about going and getting his shit in, because even if he wants to get shit in, which he'll get some stuff in eventually, he's got all night to do it.
yep.
So he was very generous, making Putski look legit as fuck in this first round, even though he was losing. So like in terms of how everything, them coming out of the match and everyone looks, I guess it was a good finish and all that. I just really didn't like how it looked and how it was executed.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. But yeah, after the match, we kick it over to Vince and Alfred Hayes as they're talking about, everything that's gone on so far.
Yep.
And then we get Volkov running over to
Yeah.
them and screaming, telling
That was
Vince that he was
robbed.
robbed. Volkov. I don't think I'll ever get enough of him. I love him. I think he might be one of my favorite heels.
Yeah, I kind of I've never really been this enthralled with this generation, like this era of WWF. I'm going to miss all of these people so much when we get to the Attitude Era or the New Generation or what the fuck ever. Like when the younger, smaller guys start coming in and you get like Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels and Bret Hart's. I'm going to miss Nikolai Volkov and Greg Valentine and Johnny Valiant and all. I'm gonna miss all these people.
And Ivan Putski.
Yeah, and Ivan Putski if I ever get to see him again. But you know who I'm really gonna miss? Fucking Ricky Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat. Yep. So you kick it off to our next match. Ricky Steamboat versus Davey Boy Smith. Just like you mentioned earlier, two faces, no heels
Yep,
in this match.
he's a good boy. That's a good boy.
Ricky
That's a good
still
boy
looks
right
cool
there.
as shit. Not gonna
He
lie.
does, man. He
How is he
does.
so cool? I hate it. Like it makes me.
He's just
I'm
a
so
family
jealous.
man.
I'm so jealous.
Bro, he doesn't worry about that negative shit. He just sticks to himself, his family. He's a family man. He doesn't worry about that meanness. It's just a straight and narrow for this guy. And look what it does for him. He looks fucking great.
And honestly, I kind of enjoyed it. It was a very fast paced match.
I loved this.
Yeah.
Again, it's just one of the things of like, it was really cool until the way they chose to end it. Because I thought this match was awesome.
Yeah, and also I feel like they were giving Davey like a lot of
Yeah,
time to be like on the offense during the match
yeah.
as well. Like I feel like he was getting his flowers, and then of
Hmm.
course Ricky would he would take the bumps, but he would also like give
Yeah.
back as well.
Well, it was like they told this, to each of their styles, they told their story very well. Like Davey's always going to have the strength advantage. So anytime they're in a situation like that, Davey's more than likely going to be able to lift him up and chuck him over his head. But Ricky Steamboat, however, he might be able to land on his feet when he does throw him, and he's gonna outspeed him, he's gonna out finesse him and out tech him, and then eventually throw his dick at the top rope, and that's enough. It's like I thought this match was so good, and then it just stops.
Yeah, Davey unfortunately is one of like 5 people on the rest of this card to get caught up in the ropes or get their balls
Yeah, but when he
messed up.
does it, when he did it though, it was too much, man. The ref's like, I can't do it.
I gotta be
I
honest
don't.
about something. The
Okay.
flailing that went on and the
Uh
selling that went on during the wrestling classic was insane. We did not see this at
huh.
WrestleMania.
No, no.
Why
On the
did
big show, no one gets hurt, dude. Not on the big
no?
show.
Why did Davey basically fly into the top rope to hit his balls? What is going
Because
on?
brother, I'm not taking a pin. So instead, I have to lose because the ref thinks that I'm too big of a bitch to continue.
Exactly. So yeah,
This
so
is sorry, you can go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna end it. What did you have to say?
Okay, this is kind of when it hit me. I thought, oh, we've got 16 people, but 15 people aren't going to be able to take clean losses. So we're gonna have to clean up
Oh.
the fuckery here. We don't want Davey Boy Smith to take a clean pin by the smaller Ricky Steamboat, who's also a baby face. I don't know why. I don't know what it would matter. And now I'm starting to understand where the argument from a lot of the older generation comes from of like wins and losses don't matter. It's like, yeah, it's because you never got to fucking see any. Like even WrestleMania was full of bullshit. And
Yeah,
like we
yeah,
this
bad
match,
endings. Yep.
it felt like every one of these matches they were like, fuck, this guy can't take a clean pin. What do we do? I don't know. What if he randomly gets tripped and he puts his feet on the ropes? What if we trick him into getting counted out?
I'm
You know,
gonna label the 1985 WrestleMania or wrestling pay-per-views as the bad endings era.
the bad endings. I think this is referred to as either like the Hulkamania era or the Golden era.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan, man. I can't wait for him.
But I really did enjoy this match though, and I think that's part of the reason I hated the finish as much as I did is because I was getting into this. I wanted to see more of this, and then it just stops when I'm like enjoying it the most. And I know that there's probably not going to be a time in the near future where I get to see these two go at it again. At least not in this context where it's like, you know, baby and they're just putting on a good wrestling showcase. There's going to be some like Davey Boy Smith's recently become a bad dog or something like that and wants to kill Ricky Steamboat randomly, but that's not even going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah, I would
So
love to
I'll just
see Davy Boy Smith again. I mean, he
yeah,
was so cool. But what's also
we'll see
pretty
more of both of them, just probably not wrestling each other.
yeah, yeah. What's also pretty cool is I feel like I feel like I don't know when Ricky started. I probably should have looked it up, but I feel like he's really on the rise right now. Like the pops he was getting like
Oh,
during the match and after, like they were insane.
yeah. We're a few shows from you seeing that come to fruition for sure.
Okay, awesome. But yeah, so Ricky wins via referee's decision that Davey can no
Yeah,
longer
yeah.
compete
Wikipedia says by forfeit.
by forfeit. Okay. Yeah, but just like you mentioned, I mean, the finish was bad, but that's what
The
happens
match
when
was
you have
great.
a tournament to book 15 finishes. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and only one or two of them can be clean.
so we kick it to honestly my favorite wrestler. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna be honest. My both shows, my favorite wrestler, the Junkyard Dog, JYD. He was interviewing before his match, talking about how he can't take the Iron Sheik for granted ahead of his match. Basically, just
Yeah.
he was doing the classic like, oh, Sheik, he's very good. I gotta watch what I do out there,
Yeah.
blah 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 type
Sorry,
shit.
Gene. I got to go prepare, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know things crazy junkyard dogs would say.
Also,
Have you ever seen the video of the guy who collects the wrestling action figures and he gets super excited that the junkyard dog action figure comes in early?
no, I don't think I have.
Okay, well, we have something to watch after we're done here because my notes I literally wrote junkyard dog came early. He even came with the chains. And and he's not gonna get a crown and be king of the ring, but he will do something similar, I guess. But
Yeah.
I noticed that this was the first interview that wasn't ended by Gene like, okay, let's go back to the ring.
Yeah, like Junkyard was the one who ended it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, hey Gene, can you leave me alone, bro? I got a tournament I have to prepare for.
Hey, at least we didn't see the Iron Sheik on the other side waiting to be interviewed.
No, we didn't. We didn't. And we
Thank
honestly
God.
barely got to see Iron Sheik at all.
Yeah, true. um, but yeah, so we head to the ring, Junkyard, first person to get an entrance. I was trying to Google or YouTube his entrance song because
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's like they talk about him in it. I don't know. I was just trying to listen to it, but every video I found on YouTube, it was just the
Oh
instant dub
yeah,
where I can't hear it still.
it's the Peacock dub, man, or the network dub, where it's like JUNKYARD.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because it's another one bites the dust. There is no fucking JUNKYARD song that he
Oh,
entered
there's
to in these
never?
shows. Like it, no, I mean there might be that song might exist, but he wasn't entering to it. He was entering to another one bites the dust,
Yeah, because
but
it
they don't have
sounded.
the rights to that right now, and that's why the crowd sounds so terrible and non-existent when he's entering.
It kind of sounds like Ghostbusters at the beginning.
It,
That's why it
it
always throws
does.
me out. Yeah.
JUNKYARD.
Yeah.
I feel
Um,
like I saw Iron Sheik mouth "you motherfuckers" from the ring, but
really?
you really can't tell with him because like he may have, he might not have, he might have said something very Sheik-ish that was close to it, but who knows?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean the crowd loves JYD though, so.
Yes, JYD is so beloved right now, man.
And I
So
understand,
beloved.
and I because I'm in that same boat,
Yeah,
I understand. But yeah, let's start the match.
yeah. That's what
Crazy,
Sheik said. That's what Sheik
crazy.
said.
Literally, as okay, so he surprise attacks Junkyard Dog, and Sheik
Yep,
just starts choking him with his clothes.
yep. And the ref is like, "All right, this works. I'm cool with it. Ring the bell."
Okay, the very small ref sucked. He sucked. Oh
I
my
didn't keep
god.
up with who was refing. I need to start doing that. I need to start doing a better job of keeping up with like what refs are doing which.
I'm pretty sure there was two of them, and I think we switched to the other good ref in the third round, but then it goes back to the sucky ref, and hey, small ref guy who did the first 7 matches, you suck, and I hope you're listening to this to hear me say that. You were
Oh
awful.
no.
He
Oh
was
no.
awful.
This is where we find out he's dead.
And rest in
Let's
peace if you
see.
are dead.
I'm trying to see if there's like any part on here where they have who might have been refing, but I
Hmm.
don't see it on the Wikipedia. It's crazy because they listed all the referees in the last one, like on the on the WrestleMania wiki page.
Really?
Well, they didn't say who was in each specific match, but they had like a list of the referees.
Okay, I got you. Um,
So this match is weird.
yeah.
Like, it's very strange because after he chokes him with the jacket and the ref's just okay with it. Eventually, JYD kind of does like this weird Hulk up thing of his own.
Yeah, because the crowd was chanting him on, and yeah, he
Yeah,
got up.
and then let's see, yeah, he goes for a falling headbutt and misses, and Sheik manages to take back over. Sheik gets him in the camel clutch, and we do the old traditional like drop his arms 3 times to see if he's asleep thing. And
Yeah,
when Junkyard Dog stops, Sheik just lets go. Like she
yeah,
just
he
gets
gave
up,
up. He gave up. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and then he fucks with the ref, and then catches a headbutt.
Yeah, didn't the Iron Cheek like shove the ref out of the way or some shit? I'm
Yeah, he
pretty
just
sure.
shoves him. Like
Yeah,
he's just bullying the ref.
and
And
then
it's like, why? He didn't make you break your submission. You just did it.
Junkyard Dog hits him with a headbutt. He didn't do his Junkyard headbutts though, so
No, he
very
didn't.
disappointed. Very disappointed. Um, but yes, so winner by pinfall. Surprising. I didn't expect them to make both Volkov and Sheik lose in the same night, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
in the same round. Neither one of them make it past the first round.
Yeah. But Junkyard moves on to the second round. Um,
All right, we have reached my favorite part of the entire show.
is it
All
when
right.
Terry Funk is being interviewed by Mean Gene?
Well, it's Terry Funk's existence in general.
Okay.
Terry
So,
Funk is my favorite part of this show, and he really doesn't even wrestle. Um, so Terry Funk, I'll take the play by play here if you're cool with this. We get the interview
please.
with him and Mean Gene, and Terry Funk. All he's talking about is how he's the baddest motherfucker here. And he's like grabbing Gene. He's like, "I want the world champion. I want the world champion." And he goes, "Give me Paul Orndorff. I'm gonna use that 50,000 to fight the world champion Roddy Piper, because that's who's going to be world champion. And this entire time, Gene is like dodging all of Terry's tobacco spit. And then in the promo, Terry looks in the camera and spits tobacco straight into it.
Gross. Yeah, it was brown, and it was so gross. And Mean Gene is like, okay, let's kick it to the, let's kick it to
Yeah.
back to the arena. It's like,
And then,
so gross.
and then this, I'm gonna say, this has been my. I know we're only 2 episodes in. This is my favorite segment of the entire podcast so far. I fucking love this. So Terry Funk thinks he's got the answer. He thinks he's got the plan. He's gonna win this tournament. He's gonna beat up Paul Orndorff and get that money. He's gonna get himself a world title match with the money, because that's how it works. And Terry Funk goes, Moondog Spot, you don't want to wrestle me, do you? You know I'd kick your ass, or whatever his verbiage is. And Spot's got his bone. He's like, no, I just want to play with my bone, yeah. And Terry Funk offers him, let's just walk out, man. Let's just take the count out, and we can both have the night off. And Spot's like, yeah, that's a great idea. So Spot leads the way, and Terry Funk, the double crosser from the Double Cross Ranch, he hits this man in the back at like the count of 3, and then walks ever so casually back to the ring, thinking he just pulled the heist of the century, the con of all cons. And then Moondog Spot begins beating his ass for it, and Terry's like, get the fuck off me, and tosses him in the ring at the count of 9, and then 10 happens, and Terry Funk gets counted out. This was fucking hilarious. This was awesome.
So funny. He catapults him. The way he goes over Terry Funk is so funny. Oh my god. I don't watch it. I watched it so many times, bro. It was hilarious.
I watched it 4 times today just because I wanted it fresh in my mind to talk about it right now. This has been my favorite segment I've ever watched in preparation for these podcasts. I hope there's at least 1,000 more segments that are this funny or better. I loved this shit. Terry Funk killed me. This was awesome.
It was so good. It was hilarious. Also, Moondog Spot. Name of the night. Congratulations, Moondog Spot.
So the other Moondog Spot is in a tag team with Moondog Rex, but I've never really seen a Moondog tag match. I always just see them in single matches, and it's like, you get one of the Moondogs, and it goes, oh, so you're going to win. But not in this case. Not in Terry Funk's case.
Is Moondog Hacksaw Jim Duggan's dad?
I don't know. If I click on Moondog Spot and I find out that he is actually, let's see.
What's crazy is that, Hacksaw, he goes around with a 2x4, and then Moondog goes around with the Bone Club. So, that would be hilarious. It was great. Moondog Spot, yeah, fantastic. He was so in shock, and Terry Funk was so mad. They were so mad.
He didn't even want to keep wrestling. He just wanted to go play with his bone. And now Terry Funk's forcing him to go to the second round.
Yeah, he was saying, like, come on, let's just both leave. Like, I don't want to fight you. You don't want to fight me. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah, I made the note of, like, if we're going to keep doing, dumb finishes or bullshit finishes because we can't have this person lose or can't have this person lose, this was the coolest way ever to get Terry Funk out of this tournament. If you really didn't want Terry Funk to lose to Moondog Spot, this was the way to do it. This was awesome. And this was the most creative of all the finishes, I'll say, for sure. Of all the weird finishes.
Moondog Spot beating Terry Funk is like Santino beating Umaga in his debut.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, except no Bobby Lashley help it. No, I picture Armando Estrada as like, you don't want to fight Umaga, and it's like, you literally just pulled me out of the fucking crowd, but okay. And then Umaga hits Santino on the way up, tosses him in the ring, and Santino wins on accident.
No, I do wish there was more matches like that. Did that match last less than 30 seconds, right? I would assume so.
It had to, right? Like,
yeah. Because essentially the bell rings, okay.
It was 27 seconds.
27. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because they're debating, and then they get out, and then the 10 seconds are outside the ring. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's one of 3 matches that don't go a minute.
But what's also as crazy was, Terry Funk, he gets booed, of course, being the heel. But
Yeah.
you'd expect them to like cheer and like care about Spot, but no one did.
No, they were just more enthralled with hating Terry Funk.
Yeah, they were just glad he lost. Um,
You know what I want? This was I love this so much. I cannot say enough good things about this segment. I mean, other than like, it would have been cool to talk about a good wrestling match, but I will give that up in place of this because there's
we did
14 other fucking matches. So yeah, there's 14 other fucking matches, so they don't all have to be bangers. Would have been cool to see Terry Funk wrestle, but seeing Terry Funk be Terry Funk is just as good. This was great.
Yep, I agree. But yes, Moondog Spot wins via countout against Terry Funk, so he's moving on to the second round. So after the match, we kick it off. There's an interview with the magnificent Don Marco and Mr.
Morocco.
Morocco and Mr. Fuji with Mean Green. Mr. Fuji, awesome. I, I
Yes.
I think he's so cool.
Yeah.
I fucking love his hat and his suit. I mean,
Yeah, he's more or less like Odd Job from 007, I think, but he does it so well.
Yeah, he's like he's kind of like a
Wait,
mob boss, kind
I,
of.
he might actually play Odd Job. Hold on.
No, that would be crazy. I hope so.
No, he's not. That would have been awesome. That would have been fucking awesome.
But no, essentially, Mr. Fuji was saying stuff like Tito will be defeated, and he feels sorry for him, um, and after Morocco wins, he'll just win the whole tournament easily, basically. But what's great though is we kick it back to the ring, and we get to see if our favorite wrestler, probably our number one most talked about person in episode 1, Tito Santana.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
Santana obviously being a baby face, and then
He's
Morocco is a heel. Yeah,
he's
IC
he's
champion.
yeah, he's won the Intercontinental Championship back from my favorite wrestler from the last show, Greg Valentine. So
Greg
that meant Greg
Rob.
Valentine was not going to be on this show. So yeah, thanks Tito Santana, fucker.
You know what
I
also
guess
that
I
means?
didn't really have any issue with it not being here. I really I thought Tito Santana was cool in this match. What's up?
I bet Tito used the power of law to win the IC
Yeah,
championship.
and then yeah,
He came out and he told the ref after he lost, he got up and he was like, "Restart the match."
and the ref goes, "You got it. You're Tito Santana."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. uh, but no. So what I thought was really crazy about this, I don't know if you saw how Morocco ripped his shirt off, but he didn't rip it
Mm.
off in the essential way of, grab it by the collar and you rip away. He grabbed it underneath the collar and he ripped it forward. So he made two shirts and he
Yeah,
he like took it off. It was so like not the typical way you're supposed to rip a shirt. He pulled it
yeah.
forward instead of sideways, and it looks so awkward. But he ripped it off clean. I mean, he's a strong dude, so it was easy for him. But it was so weird. He literally
I
made like
really
two different shirts.
I really enjoyed Morocco in this match.
You did, okay.
I thought Morocco was awesome. He beat the piss out of Tito Santana.
Uh huh. I also wrote down Morocco flail guy of the night. So when Tito was on offense, he was very good at like taking hits as well as
Mhm.
selling things. Because I think there's one of them where he's just like he gets flown into the top, I think upper right side of the ring post, and I was just thinking like, okay, like the dramatics for real. um,
Yeah, he mostly stays in control of Tito Santana for the most part of the match. Like Tito gets, his little hopes here and there, but Morocco always finds this way of just slamming the fuck out of him and just keeping him down. And then of course It is the wrestling classic, so we have to get to this weird, awkward finish.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
and
thought
of
Morocco
course.
got fucked over here. Like, Morocco was robbed, I feel, with this finish.
Okay,
It's,
so in
yeah, go ahead.
whenever you're watching the broadcast, it does not look like he put his feet up, right? You can't see it,
Yeah,
right?
no! It looks
Okay.
like he pinned Tito Santana, the Intercontinental Champion, with a body slam.
And of course, Tito would get a match where
Yeah.
it gets overturned at pinfall. Of
Yeah,
course
Tito
it
says,
would.
"Hey man, my foot was on the rope," and the ref goes, "Yeah, okay." But meanwhile, Ivan Putski in the pin is like, his feet are on the rope," and the ref's like, 2, 3. No one listens
I mean,
to anyone but Tito Santana.
he literally saved a match last time, and now he saved his own match. He's
Yeah, he
two
saved
for
his own
two.
match.
He's two for
Yeah,
two.
Tito Santana has gotten a decision reversed in every show we've watched so far.
And
So,
the way he
yeah, go ahead.
pinned him too, he
Yeah.
he like when he's looking the other way, he like turns him around, and then he does like some kind of cradle pin on him, which I thought that was very
Yeah.
cool when he got back up.
Yeah, the only issue is like no one bothered to tell Don Morocco like, "Hey man, you didn't win," and Santana just runs over, grabs him, and pins him. Ventura was not happy.
No, he was calling Tito a lot of names during this match. I'm not gonna repeat, and a lot of things about where he might be from.
Yeah,
Um,
he called him Chico again,
yep,
and then constantly referred to him being from Tijuana,
Tijuana. Yep.
to where Monsoon would say he's not from Tijuana, and you're lucky that this is 1985. But I to this point, I thought that this was the best match so far
Okay. Yeah.
up to this point. It's not. I
Morocco's
will say
cool.
it's not gonna. Morocco's great, dude. I was kind of upset that he was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, but I get it though. I mean, Tito's so
Yeah,
hot right
yeah.
now.
He's also the Intercontinental Champion, so we're to believe he's like the second ranked champion behind Hogan right now. So yeah, he shouldn't be losing in the first round of any tournament, let alone the most prestigious wrestling tournament ever on the first ever WrestleVision show.
As of right now, we only know that there's four titles, right? There's the men's world heavyweight, there's the women's, and now there's the IC and the tag, right?
Yes, but
That's all
on
we
that
know.
women's belt, all I'll say is, yeah, sure, that belt exists. We have there. That belt does exist.
Yeah,
Are
like
you going to see it a lot? Who knows?
yeah, shout out Wendy. She's probably just chilling at home with her belt.
Yeah, because for a while, the whole thing is like, oh, this is the first ever Triple Crown champion. We didn't get like the whole Grand Slam idea of there being four belts until we had like the European title, the hardcore title, maybe the light heavyweight, even though that was never really taken at all seriously.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so Tito Santana wins by pinfall, and he's moving on to the second round. We are
Yeah.
7 matches in right now.
Yep, we're almost halfway there,
Almost
man.
halfway. We're about to start the last match of the first round.
Yes.
But we will first kick it to Bobby Heenan, Bobby the Brain,
Yep.
being interviewed by Mean Gene, and he's saying that there's a $50,000 reward to whoever beats Paul Orndorff.
Yeah. And Terry Funk, man, he just wishes that he could have got that match because he could have done it.
I
You know
believe
what I want?
I believe he
Sorry.
could have. Give me Spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Do you think Paul Orndorff would have been like, yeah, brother, let's just go to the back? You're right.
yeah, he's like my fault, man. Let's get you that money.
Yeah, you're right. You need this money more than I do. But Heenan has no men in the tournament.
Yeah.
But he brings up, he's always scouting. He's always strategizing.
Yep. Where? Oh, I forgot his name. Where was his 7 foot guy? What was his name last?
Oh, Big John Studd.
Big John Stud. Oh, we
Yeah,
could have used
I
him.
don't know if we're gonna see much more of Big John Studd.
No,
I
that would
don't
ruin
know.
everything.
I don't even think we have that much Andre left, honestly.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Because I know he's supposed to have that one big match with Hogan
I
at
mean, yeah,
WrestleMania.
he'll have that big one, and then he'll probably kind of taper off from there.
Wow. But so we start the next match. We got Bob Orton versus Paul
Mm-hmm.
Orndorff. Very cool to see Bob Orton again. Like I said last
Yes,
time. I mean, we literally saw Randy in the last WrestleMania, and now we're seeing Bob 2 pay-per-views in a row.
yeah. And this time he actually gets to wrestle, despite the fact he's still got that broken arm. Man, his
Yeah,
arm still just won't
and
recover, man.
there's a there's like a 6 month difference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's yeah, yeah. This is in November, I believe.
Yeah.
9 months is it? How long? Like 8 months ago when we had WrestleMania. It's still
Yeah,
broken, man.
March to November. That's crazy.
And Paul Orndorff is a babyface now. He's turned.
Yep.
He
He
decided
is.
fuck these heels, and now him and Hogan are fucking boys now,
Best
bro. They're
friends,
best
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 friends.
friends, dude. They're blood.
During the
So
I actually
so
put
I was
this
just gonna
as
say
my
getting the
best
match.
match. I was gonna put my best match of the night so
You
far.
know what, man? I agree with you.
Best match. It was so good. It was so good. Because especially, so this match had a lot of I'm just gonna attack your arm type of vibe.
Yes.
But also it was a bunch
It-
of just like I'm just gonna keep hugging you because I know I'm just gonna get you in this hold and I'm gonna hold you there because I know it's hurting your arm. And they were literally
yeah.
just hugging and like holding each other for about 2 or 3 minutes of the match.
I'm looking over my notes here. I wrote a note that like 80s wrestling has a charm to it that like I'm just so drawn to. I can't point out what it is, but there's just something about watching this 80s wrestling, and it just really hit me in this match. Because I agree with you, this was my match of the night, and I love that even though Orndorff is a babyface, he still basically wrestles like a heel in this match because Orton's arm is still broken, so he just literally puts heat on the heel's arm the entire time, and the crowd's just eating the shit up because fuck him, he's a heel. Uh, and then there's the one point where like he goes for the big sunset flip and pulls his pants down for the big like haha we pulled your pants down and exposed your ass spot, but it looked so intentional to me.
What was also good is when Orton finally got on like the offense, like like you mentioned earlier, like seeing him actually wrestle this time, he was actually not
Yes,
that bad, even with
dude,
his quote
he was
unquote
great.
broken arm. Yeah, he was awesome,
Yeah,
really good.
I thought this match was so good. There's one other match on the show that I debated if it was the match of the night with this one, but like I agree with you. This is hands down the best match of the night. And also, here's something that this match had that the other matches did not have in this show or WrestleMania. A build up with a story and consequences and you giving a fuck about which one of these two wins. There was a beef between these two. Orton hit this man and cost him the main event of the first WrestleMania. There's a beef here. There's a legitimate issue. So getting to
I
see
didn't
two
think about
people
that. Yeah.
actually fight this shit out and handle their business. What a fucking concept for pro wrestling, dude. I loved it. Didn't like the
Also,
finish though. Didn't like the finish.
also by at least 2 minutes, this was the longest match of the first round at six
Yeah,
twenty eight.
the first round for sure it was the
Yeah,
longest.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yes, yes. Was that first round? It was great though. But the end, of course, Orton hit Orndorff with his calf or cast. My bad.
yep,
The referee saw it, and Orton was disqualified.
yeah.
Crazy.
Uh,
Again,
I
another
I
match
don't.
ending with a cast.
What was he adjusting on the
I
cast?
don't
Is one
know.
part of the cast harder than the other?
So
Like,
yeah, there's some casts that have metal in them. Some of those splint casts have metal in them.
okay, sure.
Like when I broke my leg, they put metal on both sides on the splint cast like he's wearing. So I think that's what he was adjusting on it to make it hit harder.
Okay, all right. I'll buy that, I guess, because I don't really have any other choice at this point.
Yeah, and
Because
also
Orton's DQ'd.
if you're Orton's doctor, like you running that bill up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason
Or
he
or
keeps wrestling with it on, and he's just like, "Oh man, it's so broke."
no, his arm's healed. He just won't go to the doctor to have him take it off.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, he just loves it so much he's gotten used to
Yeah.
living with it.
The doctor keeps calling him like, "Hey, Bob, it's your doctor. Just telling you, just checking up on you to come get your cash removed. It's been 8 months now.
That's so smart. I didn't even think about it.
Or he keeps going back and just like, all right, doc, I need another cast. Like, your arm's fine. I need another cast, doc.
Also, do you
He's
think
just,
Randy Orton was there? I just looked it up. He was 5 years old when this was going on.
I don't know. That would be interesting. They're known, I guess. I won't say known because I'm not fucking sure myself, but like, we know they're from, or Orton's from Missouri, so I guess anytime we're close to that, maybe it's possible. It could be possible here, but I don't think I've ever heard of any of them specifically being like, Randy Orton was in the crowd when this happened for his dad, because I don't really know if there's that many big Bob Orton moments.
Oh, yeah, especially because like nowadays you get a lot of at WrestleMania and other pay-per-views where it's like the wife
Yeah,
or the husband
yeah.
sitting in the first row with their two kids.
Or later on in life, pictures of fucking Edge at WrestleMania 6 or something like that.
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. But sadly, Bob Orton does not win the $50,000 and
Nope. He could have
loses.
got his arm fixed with that money.
Yeah, true, true. And loses the match via disqualification. So Paul Orndorff moves on to the next round.
What a first round.
I agree.
What?
A lot of fast matches.
Yeah,
Um,
some good stuff though. Like Steamboat and Davy Boy was really good. Orndorff and Orton was really good. I loved the Terry Funk segment. Tito Santana and Don Maronco had a really good match. Junkyard Dogs mad over uh you know Macho Man. He's great. And Dynamite Kid kicking Homeboy right after the anthem was fantastic. So all in all, like I can hate on the finishes, but all in all, like good shit in the first round.
yeah, no, I agree. Some lackluster finishes, but
Yeah, but
it's the
well,
first
those
round.
aren't gonna stop anytime soon. In fact, that's gonna carry all the way through the fucking night, honestly.
um, but yeah, oh, this post match. Oh my God. Yikes.
Yeah, Alfred Hayes is being a creep, and Vince is like, "Hey man, can you run down this first or that last match?" And he just goes, "Adonis was lucky." Like he wasn't even watching.
Yeah,
Adonis kicked that dude's ass. Adonis won decisively.
what a coincidence. Vince McMahon is trying to stop Alfred Hayes from being a creep
Yeah, he's like,
right
"Hey
in
bro,
front
hey
of him.
man, in like 40 years, I'm gonna get a lot of trouble for this shit, bro. You gotta chill out."
Maybe that was the first instance.
Oh, I
And
doubt that.
what's also it's so weird is like Alfred Hayes is, I'm not gonna say too much older than her, but there's probably tens of years older than her, 10 to 15 to 20.
It's gonna get weirder.
And he's like 4 foot 11 and she's like 6 foot. Oh my God. Oh,
I want
God,
you
that's
to keep in mind the thing here where they realize that they run down the second bracket, and holy fuck, is it quite a bracket. But he says Savage and Steamboat. That's a main event anywhere in the world. Just keep that in mind going forward.
okay.
But man, Terry Funk, he runs in and man, he's not happy. He was robbed.
Yeah, the second person to interrupt them and
I should
scream at
slap
them.
you, you big-eyed jerk. I love Terry Funk, dude. There's not one person on this card that I loved more than Terry Funk. Maybe not as a wrestler, but on this goddamn microphone, I love Terry Funk. I love him.
God. But I don't like him disrespecting Alfred Hayes though.
Well, it's okay. He's gone. There's no more Terry Funk in the show, unfortunately.
After this, I'm gonna eBay search a Alfred Hayes signed picture, and I'm gonna bid on that shit.
There's got to be one somewhere, man.
I
There's got
need
to
it.
be.
I need it bad. I need it. All right. So we kick it to our next match.
Round 2, man.
Performance enhancing drugs, Dynamite Kid versus Adrian Adonis.
Yeah.
With
A name that would imply performance enhancing drugs, but I don't think there's a single bit of steroids in the body of Adrian Adonis.
no, just cheeseburgers.
So I have this note that says now at a 15-minute time limit. Yeah, sure, dude.
Yeah, I love it because I think they said like the second round gets 5 minutes extra or whatever. Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
This is where Jesse Ventura just decides, hey, fuck this. I got to go talk to Randy Savage.
Yeah, he just walks out
He just
and
leaves.
Gorilla
And
Monsoon is just
man,
like,
yeah.
"What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?"
Okay, well, I'm a solo commentator now.
He's like, "No way, he's serious. He's already 3/4 the way up the ramp."
Yeah, he booked it apparently.
But yeah, so honestly, what I got from the match, Adonis was kicking Dynamite's ass 85% of the match.
I really enjoyed Adrian Adonis. I know I put over so many people consistently on in every match we watch, but I'm at this stage of my life where I'm the reverse of cynical. Where instead of hating everything, I see like all the positives and the great things in everything I watch.
What
And
happened to you?
I don't know.
I've
I
known you
don't
for
know.
4 years, and this is how you're gonna act now.
I know, man. I know. But I loved Adrian Adonis. I thought he was so cool, man. Like this dude looked cool. Like he doesn't have this like, this physique to him, but he still looks like he could kick your ass. And he presents himself that way. He just stays so calm and collected. He does, as you say, beat the shit out of Dynamite Kid. He basically just stomps his ass out the whole time.
Yeah,
He
because
does like this beautiful snap suplex at some points. Beautiful.
once you first see Adonis, he's wearing a jacket, so I didn't think he was gonna be that big. But once he takes the jacket off, I was thinking it's gonna be more muscle. I mean, he has muscles, but geez, is that a big boy?
Did you notice that every time he took the jacket off, he would hold his arm out, and Jimmy Hart would hold the sleeve, and he'd pull his arm out of the sleeve and then twirl his way out of the other sleeve, and Jimmy would just catch the jacket.
No, I don't think
He
I watched that. I don't remember
he
that.
he did this in both of his matches.
Get out of here, bro. That's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
He legit he just holds his arms out. Jimmy grabs the sleeve. He twirls his way out of the jacket, and Jimmy catches it and leaves with it. It's great. But then we get to the finish. We have to.
Yeah. So Jimmy Hart is trying to basically distract
Yeah,
the Dynamite Kid, and Dynamite Kid goes
being a
over there.
manager.
Yeah, he's going over to him at the ropes, and Adonis. What would you call that? Like the under, like the
Well,
roll up pin he did. Is that what
yeah,
it's called?
he does an O'Connor roll,
O'Connell roll.
and then gets he and then Dynamite kicks out, and it shoots him into Jimmy Hart's megaphone. Right?
First of all, that sell of the kick out was hilarious.
It's a little exaggerated, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
they
but
were not even close to him, but the way he does it was crazy. Oh my god. But yeah, he bumps into Jimmy Hart, and then Dynamite pins Adonis, and
yep. But did you notice Adonis's foot was on the rope?
I did not.
No,
Was
no
he?
one gave a single fuck.
Tito, where the fuck are you, Tito?
Well, because Tito doesn't want to face Adrian Adonis in this tournament.
Yeah. But also, did you see Adonis after he lost though? He was like crying and
Yeah,
wailing all over the ground.
throwing the tantrum, bros. It was
It was
great.
great, yeah. He was like a kid who didn't get like a snack he wanted or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
But
But yes,
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna finish it. You go ahead.
I just again I was sad to see Adrian Adonis go in the tournament. As great as Dynamite Kid is and will be for the rest of the in his next match. I am a huge fan of Adrian Adonis now. Can't wait to see more of him. I hope I get to see more of him. If I don't, I'm gonna find some in my own time. I enjoy this guy. And him being Jimmy Hart is the perfect manager to have next to Adrian Adonis. Like these two played off each other very well.
You should do like a retro throwback night at Pro South, and you can be Cameron, Adrian, Adonis, Keast.
Yeah, that'll get over. People will love that. That's that's what they want. That's what they want to watch.
You'll be one of 4 people in the arena that knows who that is. um, but yeah, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a funny ending. The Dynamite Kid wins, and he moves on to the third round now. Crazy to think that we're almost in the third round.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through the tournament.
Yep. But so we kick it backstage. Jesse Ventura, he's talking to Mean Gene, and he's basically just telling him like how like what he said is gonna help Randy Savage win,
Yeah.
and he claims like he'll be unbiased during the match and everything, and
Oh yeah, that definitely.
yeah, he has a quote where it's like um I gotta be honest with you, 3 heads are better than 2 or whatever. It's just so weird. He's really trying
I'm
to kick
so
Elizabeth out. Like he
yeah
cannot
he
stand her.
yeah dude. His boy Randy Savage is being held down by this harlot Miss Elizabeth. She's fucking Yokoing the boys up, dude.
But yeah, we get outfit change number 1 uh
Yes.
from their original. This time I think he just came out in a jacket, and I think she came out in a orange dress this time. From her blue dress in the first round, which was very, very cool. Um, Congrats, I guess. I don't really know. Maybe they do that all the time, but who cares?
Well, I think the point here is, usually you're not going to see a tournament show where people wrestle multiple times in a night.
Yeah.
So everyone else just wearing the same shit. You notice that, like, we both noticed that Randy Savage changed colors every time. He stood out more, and that was like kind of one of the things about Randy Savage that, especially on this show, set him levels above the rest. Is he understood how to make you notice him, how to get you to like single him out and talk about him, or point out the things that he is doing differently. And it just helps that he's probably the best overall wrestler on this card. Like this show was like a nice reminder for me of how fucking great Randy Savage really was.
Okay, yeah,
That's all I
because
got for that.
I was
For
curious
the
because like I haven't seen a lot of Randy Savage's matches, but I mean it's pretty cool to see like how good of a performer he was. Like he was a really big like crowd guy. I feel like
yes,
he really knew what to do.
babyface or heel. He's so good at either, but like I love him in this heel role right here. But I'm also like a big fan of like heels and good heel work, and just seeing the easy things that they could do for just the most heat in the world back then was incredible.
Also, I'm pretty sure this is the first time of the night where they're all 3 in the ring, Elizabeth, Savage, and Steamboat, and he is hiding behind
Yep,
Elizabeth to start the match.
he does the meat shield,
Does
the
the meet
human meat shield.
and Gorilla Monsoon is not having it at all. He is
Did
not a
you hear
man.
what he refers to the sneak attack as?
No, what does he do?
Calls it the Pearl Harbor, and that is actually a
Okay,
term. That
I
is
did
actually a
hear
term
I did hear
that
him
that is
mention that a lot.
used in wrestling to describe sneak attack. That is a term that is used.
I'm pretty sure he says it a couple more times throughout the night, right? I didn't want
I'm
to. I didn't
Well,
want
yeah,
to
because
like.
Savage always does this. He consistently goes and hides behind Elizabeth.
Yeah, I was really hoping that's not what he was saying, but okay, now it makes more sense now. Um, but yeah, did you have anything on the match though? I actually thought these boys were wrestling like the rent was due. It was a good
Brother,
match.
okay. I again, like I said, just strap the fuck in. Like I was very curious to see what this match would be, given how there's gonna be a big time match between these two very soon. And I was very curious thinking about what this would look like ahead of that. And holy fuck, am I not that much more excited to see that match again? Like the actual match, the legendary match of theirs. Um, let's see. It was basically like Savage. kind of fucking around with Steamboat, but Steamboat basically kicks his ass the whole time. He gets this like huge fucking crossbody. They're chopping the piss out of each other. And I was okay with the fact that we get the brass knuckle finish here. I was okay with it because Randy Savage is like a dirty ass heel. So I'm cool with him using brass knucks to put down one of the top baby faces in Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat, this is probably one of the first pins on this show where I was like, yeah, okay, I would definitely not have that guy be taking clean pinfalls, but the other guys have to get ref stoppages and 50 like match resets or whatever. But I thought the match was pretty good. But Landon, I'm telling you, bro, coming soon, these two are gonna tear the fucking house down. And you're gonna think back to this moment here too. It's not the one I was talking about that you'll think about this show again. But this show was so interesting in the fact of like it kind of set a table for so many things we're gonna see in the future. There's a lot of developments that actually kind of came out of this show. Like a lot of people were pushed and got like bigger spots out of performances based on this show, as I did some research to find out about. Seeing Randy Savage and Steamboat share a ring at this point and it not be WrestleMania 3 yet, really surreal, and I'm really excited to see more of these two, not only with each other but just in general, because these two have a chemistry that is unreal.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for WrestleMania 3. Like I mentioned to you earlier, I think that's the Hogan Andre one, correct?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. But just like as you hinted at earlier, Savage, he's about to be kind of like suplexed from the apron. Is that how you would phrase it? And he pulls out the brass knuckles, and as he's midair, Ricky's holding him above the ropes. He punches Ricky. They fall, and Savage pins him. 1, 2, 3. Gorilla Monsoon, really mad. Ventura's probably the happiest guy in the world right now.
Yeah, Ventura is probably happier than Randy Savage that,
and
that he's
Elizabeth
moving on.
Combined, yeah. Oh, I can't wait for them to fall in love. But yeah, as he's pinning him, he puts the brass knuckles back in his pants. And 1, 2, 3, match is over. Randy Savage moving on to the third round. But yeah, great match. Really enjoyed it. And
this was a lot of fun.
Match only went on for a little bit over 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Which is honestly just more than enough of a good teaser for what's to come.
Yeah. So we kick it backstage. Apparently they thought this was a good time to interview Moondog.
Why does anyone in the context of this wrestling show feel the need to interview Moondog Spot?
No idea. He does not know how to speak English. He's a caveman. So
yeah, he's a moondog, bro.
Yeah, so you only hear grunts and "ar" out of him.
That being said, I love this.
Yeah, and I wish it was more of like a physical match. So we kick it to the ring and we have
for a dog fight. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. We kick it to the ring and we have Moondog with my favorite Junkyard Dog.
Yep, here it comes. Junkyard.
No, I love him so much, and I really wish this was a dog fight.
What? Well, I can't really say it was a wrestling match.
No, yeah.
I can read you my notes here.
I think Moondog was in control for 5 seconds of the match, right?
Yeah, he jumps him immediately, but then he eats shit on a splash, and there's your favorite move.
Yeah, the Junkyard headbutts.
Yep.
I loved them.
So what happens here after he hits the headbutts, Landon? What happens?
He covered him.
And, but where's the referee?
He had to do his own 3 count because the idiot referee that was awful for the first 9 matches that we just saw wasn't even in the ring.
No.
JYD had to freaking do his own 3 count, and then the
Yeah.
adjudicator outside at the bell,
Yeah. The
he gave
judge
him
at
the thumbs
ringside.
up. Yeah,
Yeah, he gave the nod.
yeah. And
At
then
this
guess
point,
what?
what the fuck ever? Who cares?
Yeah, JYD's music hit.
I
Where did
wrote
he
I wrote
go?
here. I don't know. I don't know. I wrote the bell even fucking rings and JYD starts to leave. Then he's even announced as the winner. Fucking what? That's I want every match to go like this from now on. Like whenever somebody does the visual 3 on the big champion and then they should have won the belt, they should just count it themselves, pick up the belt and leave. Because there's a judge at ringside watching the whole thing. He can just give the nod. Right?
Yeah, and where is this
Right?
judge when there's feet on the ropes?
Yeah, yeah. We had plenty of that. Where was the judge when the brass knuckle shot happened?
And yeah, because he would have saw it. This is
But
crazy.
the judge gave the nod. The judge is just a JYD fan. That's all that shit is.
Yeah, I saw him wearing a shirt, so.
He had to. You'd be the only person that saw this judge, I guess.
Um, but yeah, so Junkyard Dog wins by pinfall. He was basically half the participants in the match plus the referee.
Yeah, he was a participant in the match and he was the ref. Yeah, for sure.
And then
He
we,
may have also been the judge.
yeah, maybe he just saw a mirror and he gave
Well, the
himself a
reason
nod.
sorry to talk over you, my bad. And the reason Tito Santana didn't come down to be like, hey man, we need a referee before you can just make the pinfall. That's because Tito Santana, he's busy getting ready for his match. Not playing social justice warrior out in the ring.
So we kick it to Bobby Heenan.
Yep, because there's not enough backstage interviews in the show.
Yeah, of course. And it's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And he's talking about but only because Paul Orndorff is up next and blah blah blah.
Yes.
He's
Is he
saying,
ever?
yeah, he's just basically talking about how Hulk Hogan is the biggest name in sports today. But Heenan thinks he's tired and Roddy Piper will be the new champion. Basically, what he said earlier, but in a shorter version, and we
Yep.
just needed to fill 38 seconds of airtime. Thank you,
Why?
guys. Yeah, exactly. Why?
Why? It's 15 fucking matches, 2.5 hours is enough. But Landon, this is the first presentation of WrestleVision. Because Landon, we've seen a lot of bad Super Bowls. We've seen a lot of bad NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And we've seen one bad WrestleMania main event. But I don't know if we're gonna have us a bad wrestling classic, brother.
No,
This is the most prestigious wrestling tournament in history.
I've never seen a bad wrestling classic. I've never seen a really good wrestling classic either.
I haven't seen a good one.
Yeah.
Seen a really good one at least. So there's some good stuff here.
I've seen a
But
wrestling classic. I just don't know where it falls
yeah,
on the spectrum.
I've seen the wrestling classic.
Yeah, you saw the original one, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have Paul Orndorff versus Tito Santana.
Yep.
Again,
Baby. So
yeah,
who's
again,
gonna crotch
Tito,
themselves and have to be taken to the hospital?
yeah, Tito has to face yet another baby face. Jesse starts the match out talking about Tito in a negative condescence.
Yes. Well, he's from Mexico, so
Yeah, he
it
is.
sure ain't about that shit in 1985, man. Not the heels, at least,
No. Ventura, the real American.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Huh.
So I say this about every match, but I really enjoyed this. I thought the story they were telling here was some good shit.
No, yeah, this was
They're
the longest match of the night, I'm pretty sure.
they're both on the straight and narrow. They're good guys, they're trying to have a good old fashioned catch can wrestling match here and may the best man win, but they're consistently fighting with their tempers, balling up their fists, almost throwing the first strike, but neither one of them want to be the one that lose their cool first and hit the other. And they tell this story so well up until the tempers finally flare and it costs them both. This was some of the best, like, pure like hold for hold wrestling on this
Yeah.
card, and probably that I've ever seen. This was like, it was tight. It was like, it was in there. They were stiff as fuck, dude, and they kept it slow. They kept it at the right pace. It never got too fast. It never dragged. I really like this, and this was up against Orndorff and Orton for match of the night for me.
Yeah, and also, really most of the time, Santana was just focusing on his Orndorff's bad leg, which I
Yes.
really. So I have a question.
Okay.
You
Okay.
wrestle.
Yeah.
How how good do you have to be to sell an injury throughout the whole match? Because that's I would forget.
It's easy to forget. And as oddly enough as this timing is in this match I just had, where I told you I think it might have been the best one I ever had. I sold my leg the entire match.
Did you
There were
forget to
times where
switch it up?
well, no, because I've kind of like tweaked my ankle for real skis ahead of time. So like, I was already kind of hurting on that side anyway. So it kind of lends itself to it. But there's times where it's just, it leaves your head. It's hard to keep that in your mind the entire time sometimes. But then other times it's just one of those things where you get better at it over time. And apparently this dude's been wrestling a whole long ass time because he was doing it perfectly.
Yeah, because
Orndorff
honestly, if I
Orndorff was
injured
awesome,
my
dude.
left leg, then there's gonna be times in the match where I'm limping on my right leg, and I'm gonna be like, the guy I'm wrestling's gonna be like, "Yo, hey, switch it, switch it." Not gonna be, "Oh, my bad."
Believe it or not, that's you don't have to worry about that as much as you think you would.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I can explain that better later, I guess. But I'll feed you. But
Okay.
I want to say real quick though, even though I went a different direction with my performer of the night, Paul Orndorff was this close, man. He was so close. I left this show a much bigger fan for Paul Orndorff in a very similar fashion to the way I enjoyed Greg Valentine last show. Like, I learned shit just by watching Paul Orndorff throughout this entire show. He had two very stellar matches. Very stellar matches. There was not a second of Paul Orndorff match on this show where I was like, what the fuck are we doing? This is getting boring. This was awesome the whole way through. Paul Orndorff was so good. He is, as his name would imply, wonderful.
And literally though, we got robbed. We got robbed of a
Yeah, we did.
potential. I would have been okay if this was a 2 hour and 40 minute wrestling classic. Give me that extra 5 minutes, and I'll deal with this
Yeah.
match being the longest match of the night.
Yeah, give me that 15-minute draw, if we're going
Yeah,
to have to go the way we
exactly.
did.
Yeah, have like a timer come on the screen saying it's at 14 minutes and 30 seconds, and give me a pin at 14:59. Like,
Because this was the longest tournament match other than the finals.
yeah, this was over 8 minutes.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I would have, yeah, I could have taken 7 more of this. This
Uh-huh.
was great. I could have taken more of that Savage Steamboat too. They only gave them 4 minutes. I
Crazy,
could have
crazy.
I could have taken more of that, but I would have loved the draw here, and then you still could have got your bye result.
Yeah, and so just like you said, both men are counted out, and just sad at the eight
Yeah.
minute mark. But I mean, it was
I
really
did like
good.
the story though. I did
Yeah,
like the story. Like, they tried not to blow up, and then when they did, they both blew at the same time, and then it cost both of them. It's some pretty poetic stuff. I really thought this match was put together very well. Even
mhm,
if we would have liked it to go longer, the 8 minutes they did have, they made the most out of. It was really good.
yeah. Which means though, in the next round,
Yep.
JYD does not have an opponent, so he is
Nope.
automatically in the finals.
So instead of 15 tournament matches, we'll just have
He
14
will
in a
now have
title match.
14.
The wrestling gods giveth and taketh away. Now, would I have enjoyed Junkyard Dog versus Tito Santana or Paul Orndorff? Absolutely. Am I okay with skipping it so I can finish watching the show a little quicker? Absolutely.
And also, what we have here is you would think that they would continue with the tournament matches, correct?
No.
And save the
Yeah.
WWF Championship for the end. What you think that
Yeah,
though?
or at least let it be the buffer between the semifinals and the final.
Yeah, but no,
So,
randomly after the second round, we are gonna have the WWF
yep.
World Heavyweight Title match.
Yep, why not? May as well be right here, right?
Yeah, there's still well, there's two more matches after this, but yeah, all of a sudden, yeah, just wait until after.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes me so mad.
Let Savage Dynamite Kid go, then do the title match so Savage can rest
Yep,
and then go in against Junkyard Dog. But instead, Randy Savage was he put the work shoes on.
yep.
But here we go, the WWF Championship.
Ooh, but
This is the first time this championship has been on the line in the
also,
history of our podcast here.
real quick before that,
Yes.
we could get to Alfred and Vince again, where
Oh, I
Alfred
skipped
Hayes
this.
is kissing Susan.
Okay, I wrote this. I thought I wrote this, but I guess I didn't because I noticed this as well. And I go, this is the second show in a row where Alfred Hayes has gotten some kind of action.
Yeah, I mean they're literally framing him as the horny backstage interviewer slash co-host guy.
Yeah. And the real backstage interview horny co-host is the other guy holding a microphone in the
Jesus.
backstage interview.
But yeah,
That
basically that
that poor Susan, bro. There's no telling what kind of fucking crazy texts and videos that are on that woman's phone after the show was over with, man. There's no
Susan,
telling.
if you were still alive,
Blink twice.
yeah, and we are here to help. I promise.
Yeah, even in 2024,
You were probably a great grandma right now. You're a
probably.
fantastic grandma.
I'm about to say like she's a good grandma or like she's a great grandma. Like
Nah, she's
she's
a good grandma.
okay, but yeah, okay. Or is she a good great grandma?
Uh,
Just
she's
keep going. Keep going.
I try to look up her name. Didn't find it. I'll try later.
It's just Susan.
Just Susan. No
That's all her
alias.
name is.
Yeah,
She's
Susan
been
from
wiped off the face of the earth for exposing Vince's secret messages or whatever.
Parts Unknown, Weight Unknown, Height
Yeah.
Unknown.
Dude, so at
President
this
from
point in the
Dynamite.
show, I am begging for a clean finish, and I think to myself, hey, here comes Hulk Hogan. Maybe I'll get one. Uh, so anyway, the match is, here we go with the match here, the WWF Championship. Roddy Piper challenging Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and I mean it's basically cool. I mean, why not? You have Roddy Piper, you have Hulk Hogan. Why not
Yeah.
make them both like the standoff match, two matches or not two matches, because it was a tag team match last time, but like the big match of the night. Uh, Hulk Hogan, some things about him. He was very, very, very tan. Like
Yes.
I think he was in the bronzer too long.
He looks like he
Also,
was on drugs in this episode. Like
yeah,
he
yeah,
comes out eating his fucking headband.
yeah. And Hogan, I know his hair is iconic, but dude, the money he was making, you gotta fix that balding. Ain't no way. Like I know his hair is better now because he did fix it, but
Bosley didn't exist in '85, dude.
brother. Oh my god. But yeah, did you have anything really on the match? Honestly, I could have cared less about this match. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, I put some notes about it just because I was like taking them as a, I wasn't really like trying to do play by play, but I was hitting like the important things. I got, we get a Hogan promo that's Hogan as fuck, of course.
Yeah.
Piper jump starts him, but of course that will backfire. I thought it was funny that like Hogan's running off the ropes and doing elbow drops when like literally he could just drop a leg. It seems to be easier, be just as easy to
Yeah,
drop a
because
leg
I think
other than an elbow.
he did like two elbows, or he did like an elbow and like a drop kick in a row, and it's like, dude, just do your finisher two times in a row, and it's over.
Piper, goddamn that his sleeper looked so good. I also love his
Where he was
reaction
on
to
his
whenever
back,
Hogan.
right?
Yeah, yeah. And like whenever Hogan starts resisting the sleeper and like he's not falling asleep, you know, Piper selling that was really good. It's the small shit like that that just makes him like the level of heel that he was. That's why he's the top heel in this era. You know, that's why he's so hated. It's cool to see a Hulk up on the floor of all places. Let's see.
Also, we
Piper
get
sends Hogan into
the
the ref. Hogan trucks this ref.
doesn't doesn't Hogan do the was it after the sleeper like they did the 3 arm thing?
Yeah, yeah. It
Okay.
was him. So when the ref dropped Hogan's arm the third time, and Hogan starts like resisting it and fighting out of it.
Yeah.
Piper's selling that like he's he's terrified now. He's like, oh shit, here he comes. He's gonna Hulk up on me. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. It was so good. Also, I love that after he hits Hogan with the chair with like the one of the weakest chair shots ever, Hogan just takes it and then wraps Piper in his own sleeper with the chair still in his hands. So then Bob Orton comes out. So fuck everything I said about wanting a clean finish.
Of course, dude. And it's so annoying. Like, how are we gonna have that basically again? Both the
Yeah.
matches in the same with Bob Orton hitting someone with his cast that he's had on for 2.5 years now. And
How have
then the
we
match
not
is gonna
seen a
go.
single leg drop yet?
Makes me so mad. And but yeah, so Hogan wins via disqualification. We also have
Yep.
Paul Orndorff come out to
Yeah.
help
I'd rather
Hogan.
see this tag. I'd rather see Hogan Orndorff versus Orton Piper than Orndorff Piper versus Hogan Mr. T. I'd rather see that match.
God, Mr. T, we'll never get rid of him, dude. He's just
We're not actually because I believe he's on WrestleMania 2.
oh my god.
Is he? Wait, I might be wrong. Hold on.
He better be a guest commentator.
I think he's is he not like
If you tell me he's fighting Roddy Piper, I'm gonna cry.
oh bro, he's legit fighting Roddy Piper in a boxing match.
Why? Why? That's so dumb. Why?
Dude, it's Mr. T with Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier? Are you kidding me? Mr. T
No.
is one of the best boxers of all time with him. Roddy
Yeah.
better have what's Muhammad Ali doing? He better be there.
Roddy Piper has he'll have where's it at? Where's the
George Foreman?
Lou Duva? Louis Duva?
Louis Duva. Sorry, we don't know you, Louis Duva, but we'll Google
He's
you
a
later.
boxing manager and promoter, apparently.
Okay. So at least he has some
And then of
background.
course Bob Orton.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, of course. So that's what you had to look forward to. Mr. T will come back. He will make his return.
Oh god. But yeah, like I said earlier, Hogan, he retains
By DQ, by fucking disqualification. Even I don't know, man. Even like Hogan can't get clean wins at the wrestling classic.
Bro, we're like 50-50 on actual pins we're less
50-50 my ass.
We're less than 50. We're less than 50.
Our KD spread is dog shit right now.
But now we're in the oh no, actually, let's kick it back real quick. Junkyard Dog is now interviewed by Mean Gene.
Mm-hmm.
He was just basically just boasting about how he has a buy and everything and how he has to like take it seriously and all of that. But now we have the semifinals. We're down to the last 2 matches.
I had a quick note here about the JYD interview.
Oh, what'd you have?
I put that that it really looked like management kind of stacked this bracket in favor of JYD. But I have this like headcanon theory that Blassie actually rigged this bracket. Sure as fuck that Sheik would be able to beat Junkyard Dog.
What the fuck?
But then Sheik fucked up and JYD just benefited from it. Because Terry Funk fucked over Spot, so Sheik would have run through Spot. and then this bye happened. Freddie Blassie knows Tito Santana, Paul Orndorff, they're not gonna be able to keep their cool. They're gonna get themselves fucked over or hurt each other. Sheik's gonna be able to walk through them in round 3 if they even make it there, and then he can go to round 4
Yo,
completely,
that's smart. I didn't even
completely.
think about that.
But instead, Sheik fucked up, and JYD just gets to fucking stroll right into the finals. He beats Moondog Spot in 5 seconds, and then without even having a ref, doesn't even have to wrestle round 3, and then he gets to go to round 4, like just fresh as fuck. While poor Randy Savage. But I guess we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. Or I'm getting ahead of us here. But that was my headcanon, was that like Blassie tried to rig this shit for Sheik and he fucked up.
But yes, we have Macho Man versus the PED Dynamite Kid.
Yep.
Again, Macho, of course, will get his entrance with their outfits. I think
Yes.
he was wearing a jacket this time, and she was wearing a red dress. So she went from blue to orange to now red dress. And
Yes.
yeah. But honestly, I don't think I really had anything. Not really
I
too
just thought this
much
match
about
was
this
really
match.
good. I just thought this
Yeah,
match was good. Like these two fucking went for it. Randy Savage made Dynamite Kid look like he could be, a potential big star.
they had this
'Cause
one spot in the match where they were like doing they kept like reversing each other on the ropes. I think they did it throughout like 2 of the rope sides, and I thought that was very cool.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This there's some really cool stuff here.
Mm. Another bad ending though.
I honestly I didn't hate the ending. I thought of all the actual like wrestling match finishes, this is probably my favorite one, other than Terry Funk. But because I love the superplex, but the guy taking the superplex holds his ankles up and traps him in it and steals the win. Especially because it just makes it look like he didn't actually beat Dynamite Kid. He just outsmarted him. So Dynamite Kid still looks like this potential top contender. He just, physically he's there, athletically he's there, but just mentally he's not on the level of a Randy Savage or one of the top stars. So that's what caught him here. And I thought that they did a really good job of making Dynamite Kid looking as good as they possibly could and not just beating him. Because it could be worse. He could have been thrown into the top rope dick first and cried about it to get taken out of the tournament,
Or DQ'd or counted out.
and even though this is the third of his soon to be fourth matches, of his 4 matches, Randy Savage is at peak performance every step of the way. He never backs down. He is on 110% every bit of this. I just thought it wasn't like the best match by far. I enjoyed the finish personally. I felt like everything in this match had intent to it. Everything meant something. There was really no wasted motion. Everything had some type of relevance to the overall story they were telling here. Dynamite Kid looked great. Randy Savage is he's just great. And I thought this was pretty good. And seeing Savage Iron Man the fuck out of this tournament, crazy.
Mhm.
Very, very good stuff here.
Yeah, they were constantly fighting like throughout the match, which was pretty good. But
And then
but as you see though, Randy Savage, like you said earlier, he after he gets a suplex hit on him, or a superplex. Is that how you say it?
yes, yeah, top rope superplex,
Yep. He's
catches his feet in the small package, cradles him, and
Yep.
steals a win.
And Savage moves on to the finals to face JYD, our king. All right.
But here's why the championship match had to go on earlier, because the real main event has to happen right now.
So this is the best thing that's ever happened in wrestling.
I was about to say, I've been saying the Terry Funk spot was the funniest shit I've ever seen. I fucking lied. This is. I fucking love this.
Yeah, so first of all,
Let's go to Howard. Well, before that, let's look at the car.
they have me. Who was it? It was Alfred Hayes in the ring
Yeah.
with three
And Howard
other
Finkel.
Howard Finkel. They
Yeah.
have the president out there, and then two other randos. One of them
Yeah,
was the dealership, but I don't even know who the other guy was.
dude.
Uh,
Dude, I love this. Like, no one gives a fuck about this, but the Rolls-Royce sponsor is giving us a shitload of money, and they want
yep,
us to give away a car.
yep.
So, time to do it.
And drum roll, please, on our winner. Wait,
Hold on.
first,
I did I write down
first of all,
the winner's name?
I did.
I didn't write it. Sorry. Go ahead. Who
First
is
of
it?
all, Alfred Hayes takes for fucking ever to announce this goddamn dude's
He
name.
really does, the winner of the car.
And then he unfolds it, and then he's still holding the paper, and then he's looking at it, and then he unfolds it, and then finally announces the name. But our winner is a guy named Michael Hanley from
Yep.
Illinois.
Okay, yeah.
The fans booed him. He was getting booed.
I so it's really funny that when this segment happened, I remembered a story that someone had told me about that I wanted to share with you.
Okay.
And then over the weekend, I ran into the older dude that was in this particular story, and he was telling me about it. It was awesome. So the timing was really crazy, but just the car being given away, it just makes me think of this really funny story my boy Ace was telling me about, to where it's a Mike Jackson story, of course, because it's corny as fuck. One of them buys a new car. I believe the this guy named Joe bought the car, and they have this battle royal at their show where there's a bunch of guys in the ring, and they're all fighting to climb up this pole where there's the keys to this new car. And the way they're gonna do it is they're gonna have the good guys win and leave with the car, but the good guy's supposed to win the car, right? But the heel is who actually bought the car, so he's going to attack the good guy and steal the keys with the car that actually does belong to him. Well, that shit doesn't fly in Alabama, buddy. So there are fans that fight this man and do not let him leave with his own car
No
because they
way.
think that he's stealing it from Mike Jackson.
What
And
year
they
was
end up like
this?
ripping the it was like, I don't remember when, maybe 09 perhaps, I think is what he said. I don't quote me on that. I will get Ace on this fucking podcast to tell this story better. But I had to tell you about this when I saw this car segment, and then I ran into the dude in this story, and he told this story again in person to me just a few days ago. Crazy timing.
That's crazy. And what? Oh my god, dude! I don't even know what to do. Like, I would be so scared.
That's what he says. Like once because he's like, I'm trying to crank the car up, but this woman's reaching in and ripping the keys out of my hand, and eventually she gets him, and then I don't know what to do. So he ends up like running away and then like shutting the roll door behind him away from this crowd of people trying to kill him, and he's like, I don't know what to do, man. So he just kind of takes off away from the venue to a safe area until the crazy ass fans calm down, so he can go get the car that he bought for himself and tried to give himself in a wrestling show. But
That's crazy. That's fucking
some
crazy.
people, it's still real to some people. Damn it!
It's real to me.
I just love to go back to this car segment here. I love that Jack Tunney was brought out for this.
Yeah, and he's so awkward. I'll be the one to say it. He is so awkward.
Yeah, and the crowd does not give a fuck. Every time they give the mic to one of these random people, they just start booing him and heckling him. One of them gets nailed with trash.
Yes, at the end they do. Yeah, and he was so chill about it though. He didn't like really react that well. Oh my god.
And it's really, it's so bold of them to do this now, after this crowd has watched 14 wrestling matches, and now we're giving away a car.
Yeah.
But I'm glad something went here to give Randy Savage some time to rest. But you know what really could have been good in this spot right here? A fucking title match, perhaps. That'd have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we had to have this
They
this
should have
car
switched it.
giveaway.
They should have switched the car giveaway.
I
And
agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Oh man, we could have had two breaks. They could have
Yeah.
rested longer. And oh my god. But
And this crowd would have been a little less tired by the time this came around.
shout out Michael Hanley though. I hope you're
Yeah.
I hope you
I
still have
hope
that
you
Rolls
enjoy.
Royce and that
Yeah, this.
$600 insurance that you're having to pay for.
Yeah, I bet that shit's nice and expensive on insurance today. Well, I mean, it might be classic now, so
Yeah, true. It's probably not running. It's sitting in his it's probably sitting in one of his kids' garage right now, and they're looking at it
it
every time they go in there about fixing it up like old dad had.
maybe he sold it to get tickets to WrestleMania too.
I would have. Ain't no way I'm rolling around in a Rolls Royce in
I can't
1985.
afford to.
Yeah. In 1985, I would have been working at in my hometown. We had a food land. I'd be working there right now as a bag boy probably.
Could you afford a Rolls Royce Silver Cloud 3 with that?
Hell no, hell no.
Nah, fuck no, bro. But as much as I'm kind of dogging out this segment, I'm glad it was here. I really like when cringy, awkward shit like this exists. I know I'm being like overly positive about everything on this show because that's just where I'm at with my life now. But I still love bad segments like this. Shit that's so uncomfortable that I just stare and laugh because there's no way any of these people had ever been in a wrestling ring before, had ever been in front of a wrestling crowd. And I just wonder how they felt after they were done with this. It was like, this crowd was mean to them.
Yeah, we will
All
never
this
do this
one
again.
dude, all he did was give a fan a car, and he got hit with trash for it.
And a Rolls Royce
he,
out of
he
any other car.
literally
A Rolls
he,
Royce.
he literally did nothing different than Mr. Beast. but got hit with trash for it.
That's a good
I
analogy.
bought a
like that.
Rolls Royce 3 for the Wrestling Classic audience. That would have been a better segment. You bring all these people over to the Rolls Royce 3 or the Silver Cloud 3, and it's like they all have to put a hand on it, and the last person to take their hand off wins the car.
Yeah, like during the show, and fans get to throw food and trash at them.
Fans can throw trash. You can have heels come out and fuck with them. Terry Funk can come out and try to win the car and get fucked over because he outsmarts himself.
I was
That'd have been
hoping they were
awesome.
gonna say like Terry Funk or Ivan or even someone like that, just someone random. Or what if it was
Any
Moonspot? Oh my god.
Moondog Spot, any heel coming out to fuck with anyone at this point and just getting like embarrassed or beat up or something real quick would have made this immediately like way better and probably a little more digestible. But this was literally like, all right, yeah, the sponsor wants us to do this and they gave us a fuck ton of money, so here's a free car. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right, but
But I mean, all right, go ahead. No, that's all I had. That's all I had. I was just
Okay.
trying to transition.
I got you. Yeah, before we get to the main event, we got Mean Gene who goes back to the locker room and tells the cameraman, "Keep the camera up. Some of these guys are getting out of the shower. You gotta make sure we say
Yep.
that."
Yeah,
And we
and
got
also you can still hear Howard Finkel talking over him in the background
yes, you
when
can.
this starts.
And you have Hogan, and he's talking,
Yeah.
brother,
Hogan didn't
brother.
like the finish, man.
He
Hogan
did
does
not.
not like that he can't get a win over Piper. And I'm like, brother, you're not the only one mad that we're not seeing finishes, okay?
And he's saying that this is not the last time, and he still wants Piper.
Oh, I bet.
And then we get Orndorff, who randomly shows up, and he's trying to do his best Hulk Hogan impression.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah, and he says, the Hulkster never tells a lie, brother. Like, okay, dude.
"Yeah, whatever,
Okay.
bro. Yeah, thank you so much." But
They're
we
blood now, bro. They're blood. They're best
Yeah,
friends now.
yeah. Literally, they cut it out though, but they spit in their hands and they like they shook hands right before. So,
Oh my god. That's terrible.
so yeah, now we kick it to the ring for our main event. We
Thank
have
fuck.
the Junkyard Dog versus Randy Savage. This is what happens when you watch over 2.5 hours of wrestling. This is what you get to.
Yeah.
And so you get Macho Man. No, I think who comes out first? I think it was
I
yeah,
think
my
JYD comes. Oh no,
yeah,
he Savage does.
yep, Savage does.
Okay, all right.
He is wearing
Yeah,
his
you're right. You're right.
what's that? I'm trying to think. I can't even think of what kind of design it is. Uh, Screw it, who cares? But they are coming out in yet another tie dye. He's wearing tie dye, different
Mm,
outfits, and she's kind of wearing like a red top dress with like bluish
mm,
bottoms. I don't know. It was something weird. But yeah, their third, fourth outfit change of the night, and then you have
well,
JYD. Everyone loves JYD. Who doesn't love him?
funny enough, right here, I wrote in my notes that the Peacock dub sounds like a Ghostbusters ripoff that's just singing about a dog.
Thank
And
you.
you mentioned earlier that it does sound like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They buy Savage every bit of time they can here. They're like, and it's time for the main event of the evening. Coming to the ring first. They buy Savage every bit of time they can. They really try this shit out. Which I get it, but we are 14 fucking matches in.
Yeah, you gotta get me out of here.
Yeah.
And so we
So of
have
course we start with some meat shielding.
yep, you have to. And also I mean also JYD, he's a scary guy, you know, just like Jimmy Hart referenced earlier, like you don't want to mess with him, that he's an actual dog, so
Yeah, he's a dog. Yeah, he's an actual junkyard dog, and he's rabid.
uh
Even though we love him to death, and he comes out like having a good old time.
Savage, I know he went outside the ring and grabbed a steel chair from ringside.
Yep.
He
And
threw it at
JYD
JYD,
doesn't care.
and he was headbutting the chair.
Yep, doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, bring
Oh
all the chairs you
god.
want.
And then
JYD said, "Brother, I've wrestled a total of 7 seconds tonight. I'm not really worried about it.
do not care
hit
at
me in
all,
the
really.
hit me in the
Yeah.
head all you need. I'm gonna." Yeah, he's trying to even it out, making it like a little better for Randy Savage's
Mm.
equity as opposed to equality, I guess.
I feel like this match had a lot of like throwing the other person across the ring or throwing the
Oh
other
yeah,
person into the ring post or something. There was a lot of it.
there's a lot of
Um,
stuff on the floor. Probably because at this point in the night, Savage was probably tired of bumping. Because he'd been doing it all damn night for everybody. And you don't really have to bump for JYD. You just have to be on your hands and knees and take some headbutts.
hmm Yeah, a lot of headbutts from Junkyard this match.
But
Which
oh good.
honestly, you kind of get kind of drunk on the headbutts when you have too many of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could dial them back a little bit.
Savage does like a double axe handle to the floor. So crazy that he did that. And
Yes,
I'm
he
sitting here
did.
saying like,
And it's not like the mat floor, I don't feel like.
no,
And my
it's the
knees hurt.
fucking concrete, bro. And he does it twice. He does it again after this.
Yeah, my knees they were not okay.
But I like what we go with here as far as the story of the match because Savage is tired,
Mhm.
Junkyard Dog is not. So Savage really uses like the arena as his weapon to more or less do some extra damage faster to kind of even the playing field. We get the double axe handles off the top to the fucking concrete, and then he starts bashing him into the railings and all that stuff, putting the heat on him on the floor. Just to get presumably hurting him more.
Yeah. Also, Randy Savage, another person, felt victim of the ropes. He had his arms tied up during the match.
Yeah, yeah. His ropes are very flexible, especially in the 80s.
uh, but yeah, crazy ending. Um, Macho Man
Yeah,
takes a horrible over the top, hits his head on the ground,
yeah.
and
But
pursues
even
to
the
the
finals of this tournament can't be a fucking pinfall.
Yeah, hey WWF, you made me watch over 2 hours and 15 matches, or well
Yeah.
14 for a tournament match,
Yep.
and you made the ending where a guy gets counted out. Thank you. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for
And
making me sit through that.
the guy that won, by the way, with the count out also didn't even have to win a semifinal match.
He didn't even win half his matches.
Though he he got lucky on the Iron Sheik. Like he caught him slipping, and then Moondog spot. I
Didn't
don't
even
know
have.
I don't know how to really explain what he did to Moondog spot. I kind of feel like Moondog spot got fucked over.
I agree. I think he should have won the tournament.
Not as bad as Don Morocco got fucked over, but he kind of got fucked over.
Yeah.
But they went 9 minutes here for a count out.
Really?
Yeah.
And
JYD literally had the best tournament luck of all time.
Yeah, he did. And I hate to say
Ventura tries to even protest it. He's like, "This is bullshit," and then no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, he went to the ring, and that's the moment where I wrote my notes like, is he the real American? Because I was because the way he was looking, he was kind of in that like camo shirt, weird looking ass thing with his handlebar mustache, and he's complaining and yelling at the ref that his love of Macho Man Randy Savage was
Yep.
ripped.
Yeah.
And also,
He's like, "I
what
love
is
this dude so much. You gotta let him have another chance, man. You can't count the 10 that quick. Come on."
they basically just did the tournament for nothing. JYD doesn't get a title. JYD
Nothing
doesn't get a
happens.
crown. He just won.
Nothing happens from this.
He just won the wrestling classic, and then
That's it.
they never do a wrestling classic again. It's like
Okay, so apparently from this, Junkyard Dog became what the fuck? Oh, he became the first person here to win a major tournament in WWF history. So this was the first ever major tournament, and that's all he wins out of this. Is he gets to be the only one to win the wrestling classic and the first person to win a tournament in WWF. Period. Randy Savage coming out of this tournament, he will before WrestleMania 2, he will be Intercontinental Champion.
fuck yeah, let's go.
He will defeat Tito Santana in February.
Okay.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2 is next, correct?
Yes. And then British Bulldogs will be a tag team next show. So Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith will be together after this. I think they were already a tag team anyway, but I'm looking at the aftermath of all the things that came out of this, and the aftermath paragraph is like 4 lines long. That's really about it.
I gotcha. But yes. So yeah, Junkyard Dog wins the tournament. Nothing really happens for him, but
Nope.
I mean, one of the biggest faces of the night wins the tournament, so that's good at least for fans. You know, you didn't waste your time showing up, I guess.
No, I mean, if the only way I can imagine anyone really having like the true night of their life in this scenario, though, is if who did you say won the car?
Oh, it
What
was
was the guy's name?
car. Michael Hamley.
Okay, so if Michael Hanley had been the world's biggest Junkyard Dog fan,
Holy shit,
that's
he's on cloud 9. Yeah, you're
that's
right.
probably the only way that anyone could truly come out of this
Maybe.
show being like, "This show changed my life." Otherwise, I go 2 King Kong Bundys out of 5.
I think I'm giving it man. I'm gonna give it 1.5 King Kong Bundys.
1.5. Okay,
Yeah,
all
I don't
right.
think I give it 2.
No, I think you're right, and I think I was too nice for it, but I didn't want to go like that low because I wasn't dragging my way through this. I wasn't like miserable, you know. I wasn't having a great time, but at the same time, I kind of was because I love the Terry Funk segment. The car thing was hilariously awkward. So even with all the bad the show had, I could still enjoy some of the bad for the hilariousness it was. But there was a lot to enjoy in this show, I think. When the wrestling was there, holy fuck was the wrestling there. I know I said that about WrestleMania 1, but like the wrestling in this show was far and away better than the wrestling on WrestleMania 1.
yeah,
I
the
thought there
wrestling
were so
aspect
many
yeah.
there were so many great wrestlers on this show. And it's a shame that, you know, we had to have the finishes we had because they had 16 men in this tournament and they only wanted like 1 or 2 of them to be able to be pinned clean. So they had to come up with 14 or 15 fuck finishes. And they ranged from creativity and effectiveness and execution. But one of my notes were like, if this many people needed to be protected, maybe a tournament wasn't the best idea. Either way, I still had some stuff of the show that I'll remember forever. Like I'm never gonna stop talking about this Terry Funk Moondog Spot segment because I loved it. I'll probably forget about the card and it'll come up later in a hilarious joke, but I will never forget Terry Funk failing to trick Moondog Spot and getting counted out for it.
Hey, we'll never be a Michael Hamley. We'll never be a Michael
And,
Hamley.
yeah, and I'll never win Rolls Royce Silver Cloud 3 from a WWF Wrestling Classic giveaway. Do we even know that Michael Henley was at the show? Like, did they show him?
No, they did not. They did not.
What if he wasn't there and he didn't even get the car? Like, they had to give it to somebody else.
Dude, honestly, call the number on the card or whatever the guy filled out and say, okay, how much will you buy it back for? I don't want that fucking car.
This show happened almost 40 years ago. Do you think there's any chance Michael Hanley's still alive and we could talk to him about how great that car was, or if he even got to drive it?
Dude,
we got to do some. We got to do some footwork. Yeah, we got to get Michael Hanley on the show. So do you have anything to say about the show? Because I got my little
one thing. Oh, you got yours. Okay, well I'm gonna do.
I got like my best, my like performer match overall segment stuff like that. Although I'm pretty sure that you could tell what most of them are based off of the way I've talked all night. But you go ahead if you want.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, 1.5 King Kong Bundys out of 5.
Woof is right, man.
My best match of the night was the Randy and Ricky match. Like I mentioned earlier, they were literally wrestling like rent was due. I mean, it was so good, and I hated the ending.
I can't wait to get to WrestleMania 3 for you then, bro. I'm so excited for you to see that.
Yeah,
if you love this,
yeah, it was awesome. Randy Savage, of course, star of the night. He came up short in the final, but dude literally wrestled for 30 minutes at least.
He really had to, right? Like,
yeah.
Savage versus Putski's 2:45. Where's the other one? Savage Steamboat was 4 minutes there, so there's like
7 minutes almost.
Savage with Dynamite Kid was 5 minutes, and then him and Junkyard Dog was 9. So yeah, almost 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and literally like it's also fast-paced matches because they're trying to fit in a lot in a short period of time. I mean, just shout out to Junkyard Dog. I mean, not Junkyard, but Randy Savage. Honorable mention. He made it. I'd say Dynamite Kid. I made fun of him throughout the whole thing because I do think he was on performance-enhancing drugs, which probably helped him out. But he did make it to the semis. So
that guy's got quite a depressing history.
Really?
Yeah, he kind of. I know at some point he ends up in a wheelchair.
Wow.
I don't remember the entire thing behind it because it's been years since anyone. Yeah. Okay. After he had a lot of back and leg injuries. He lost use of his left leg. Yeah.
That's insane. Man, I'm sorry about that, Dynamite Kid. For real, honestly.
And he died in 2018, December 2018, on his 60th birthday.
Rest in peace.
Crazy. Oh, absolutely.
And then my worst match.
Worst match. I didn't even write a worst match because I'd be here all goddamn night trying to figure it out.
I don't have a worst match. I just have a lot of bad matches. Because I don't want to say the Moondog Terry Funk because I laughed at it. That was the worst overall match with the funniest moment. That's how I'll say
it. Yeah. I honestly good stuff, man. I really I'm excited to see that you were a fan of Savage and Steamboat and that you were a fan of Dynamite Kid. I think that's really great. And I also like that it gives us a little bit of different answers here. Obviously, for me, best performer, I really wanted to give it to Paul Orndorff, and I even at one point had to throw honorable mention to both Adrian Adonis and Don Baracco because anytime I'm more of a fan of somebody because of watching one of their matches, I'm going to at least honorably mention them for this. But there is no way you can see Randy Savage have these 4 performances in the same night and not give him performer of the night. That dude again showcased why he was a big of a star as he was, why he will be like, you know, the face of the company in a few years, and why he is the legend he is. Like he was seriously, especially on this show, on a completely different level. Like this dude, he had a great night as far as I'm concerned. He made 4 people look really good in every single one of his matches. I'm pretty sure all the people he were in these matches with were elevated in some fashion just because they put on such a good performance against him. And then especially Junkyard Dog, even though it was a count out, him beating him, crowd came unglued when Junkyard Dog got that count out. And part of that is going to be attributed to the fact that Savage was getting his heat. Savage was making these people want to see him lose. And no matter how he did it, even if it was like, you know, a kind of a lame count out, they got it. And I think that like it needs to be like pointed out just how great a performance he gave throughout this entire night. Best match for me, I went with Paul Orndorff and Bob Orton. Thought it was really good. And like I said, it was the only one of the matches really that had some type of relevancy to what's going on in the product at the moment. Paul Orndorff is like, you know, wanting some revenge on Orton for fucking him over in the Mania main event. Orton, yeah, it might be a personal beef, but he's also wanting that $50,000 that's on Paul Orndorff's head, and they had a damn good match. In response to all of that stuff, and I really enjoyed that match from beginning to end. Honorable mention to that though is going to be Paul Orndorff against Tito Santana. Paul Orndorff was on fire for the show for me. Best overall segment, obviously Terry Funk failing to outsmart Moondog Spot. I'm gonna think about this for years. I can't wait to steal this spot somehow in the future. I'm so excited for when I get to copy it. Best moment, I really didn't have anything too spectacular because there wasn't anything like as big as Andre slamming Big John Studd. But I did think there were huge pops for when Junkyard Dog won the tournament, and also Dynamite Kid hitting the drop kick immediately after the Soviet national anthem was probably one of my top just moments that I'll take away from the show as well. And then best promo I gave to Terry Funk because you know what I want. Terry Funk is just so good. Every time he was on the screen, man, I was just laughing my ass off. What is it that he said to the other one when he came in mad and he said he got robbed? He was saying like he was like I'd slap you, you one-eyed idiot, or something like that.
You one-eyed freak, yeah.
Yeah.
Bug-eyed freak. Bug-eyed freak.
Yeah. It was something like that. But Terry Funk, man, I fell so much more in love with him after this match than I already was. I'd always been a huge fan of Terry Funk, but I'd never really seen like, you know, deep in the 80s Terry Funk when he's with Jimmy Hart. And his entire gimmick is that he's just like dirty Southerner who spits chewing tobacco everywhere. And he's just a all-around dirty little bastard who wants to fight everybody. I have never really seen it as deep into that character as I got to today, or not today when I watched the show, but damn it, I loved it, and I want to see more of this Terry Funk.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, so that's the Wrestling Classic. Great.
Yeah, man. What a classic it was, man.
It was more fun than entertaining. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It was way more
fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that includes the Wrestling Classic, like I said. We'll be doing WrestleMania 2 next. Let's hope it's better than WrestleMania 1.
Well, it takes place from 3 different cities.
3 different cities. I can't wait to see how they did that. But also,
man,
what's good about this is I feel like there's not a lot of nostalgia for the Wrestling Classic. Like, not a lot of big things, but hopefully we can help that, especially with the Terry Funk.
Oh man, let's hope, because see, the crazy thing is like I never heard about this show. And I know I'm not like this 80s wrestling aficionado or anything, as we're finding out, because I'm just now discovering how awesome most of these people are. But, you know, you always hear about... So, But you never really hear about the Wrestling Classic. No one's ever like, yeah, man, you got to go see Savage Steamboat from the Wrestling Classic, or you got to go look at this crazy, funny thing that Terry Funk did at the Wrestling Classic. You never hear about the Wrestling Classic. We didn't even know it existed until last week when it said it was the next pay-per-view in line chronologically after WrestleMania. But so I mentioned earlier that this was the first show of WrestleVision, and that we would be getting more WrestleVision shows. We get 4 more. We would get one in January, March, May, and August of 1986. And the Wrestling Classic was just a one-off, and the remaining 4 events never took place. The let's see, WrestleVision, which followed WrestleMania in November, was something of a dud, and was quoted as saying, "All of our guns weren't loaded for WrestleVision as they were for WrestleMania." So we couldn't get Cyndi Lauper for the Wrestling Classic. Billy Martin didn't want to give away a car for us. Muhammad Ali couldn't come back. Liberace said he didn't like wrestling last time.
Can't believe them.
I thought this like the wrestling on the show was better than WrestleMania, but I definitely see why it might look like it was a dud in comparison. But I don't think it was bad enough to cancel 4 more events.
No,
So it
definitely
must not
not.
have.
Especially for like money grabs too, because like they had almost 15,000 people there.
They had a Rolls-Royce sponsorship.
Yeah.
This couldn't have been negative as far as like revenue went, could it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not. We'd have to look at like maybe we need to get our hands on like a Wrestling Observer newsletter or something, and look around that time and see overall what the response to this was, other than it being a dud and not as loaded as WrestleMania.
But yeah, did you have any more final thoughts on the Wrestling Classic?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see some extra little fun facts about this show that we might have missed. Knowing that Moondog Spot was not initially in this tournament makes me very appreciative, even all the more appreciative of the Terry Funk spot, because there might have been a chance I wasn't going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know how I would handle having this moment pulled from my memory as if it never happened, because goddamn, it's my favorite moment of the show by far. But no, I mean, overall, it was what it was. It was long. 15, 16 matches gets it's kind of grueling after a while, but I made it through. I don't regret watching it. I could watch another 16-person tournament if I had to. I'm not going to be in a rush to. I'm interested to know how long WrestleMania 2 is, though.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I mean, that's it for the Wrestling Classic. Like I mentioned earlier, we will be back for WrestleMania 2, where I hope it's way better than the Wrestling Classic. Especially name wise. Let's get some big names out there. But yeah, we're done.
Oh, brother, we've got Joe Frazier next time. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, true.